Okay, people, this is a little bit different than what you would have expected, I think, but because nothing is going on the stream, we are going to show you 1v1. I have absolutely no idea what's going to happen, but the two of my...
The L in League and turning into W's in WoW. So that's what's happening here.
That's what's going on.
Yes.
So,
Yeah,
Exactly.
So to preface this, I have absolutely no idea about World of Warcraft. I have played like 7 levels when it came out again, and I was utterly bored. So I'm going to cast this epic duel between Everyday and Vinnie, not knowing what's going on. So you can all look forward to that.
Vinnie, where are you?
I am
I'm waiting.
in 𝘀𝗀𝗃. I am coming.
You need to come outside because you have
I
to like go out
know.
the front
I
gate.
just
Look at these
loaded
great
in.
graphics.
Leave me alone.
The screen is having a little bit of
Oh, here he
trouble.
is.
Hello. Oh,
Hello.
we need to wait for the popping to happen.
Okay, these... who's who between the two of you?
So
You're currently going from my perspective.
yeah, so you're on Vinnie's perspective, and I'm the mage jumping up and down.
Ah, you're
Yeah.
over there. Okay, Vinnie, what are you? So we have a mage for Everyday, and Vinnie is...
I'm a goblin warlock.
Vinnie is ugly. Okay, understood.
no, as in the game, not in real life.
Alright. You had your chance, I'm out of here.
I assume Spoods. I assume you're keeping an eye on the mainstream. Just so
I have no worry about it. Yeah.
Okay. There is,
I'm not
so
the one
to-
streaming though.
Just to explain, there is currently a major tech delay at 𝘁𝗰𝗶𝗹𝘀𝗀 Stadium. It's been about 40 minutes, and we're losing our minds.
Yeah.
Okay, Vinnie, you ready?
How does duels work?
I'll challenge you.
Okay.
I need to come closer to you, though. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that'll do it.
All right.
So there's the duel set up. The mage has a sword. I'm not sure why, but let's see what he does.
Spellblade.
So Vinnie's not able to dodge anything. He's just standing there like Shine. What's going on?
It's a point and click.
It doesn't. You don't dodge.
Oh,
Hey guys,
okay, you
champ
did-
select's on screen.
Oh, we have champ
No,
select. Okay.
It's pro draft.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think
Let me
this
finish
is over
guy off.
anyway.
Let me finish
Yeah.
this guy off.
Yeah.
So I'll just
God damn it.
explain it to the audience as best I know it. Apparently there is an
Oh,
audio
let's cut
issue on
over.
stage. So they're doing pro draft behind the scenes in the waiting room. Then they're gonna move to the stage to actually play the game. So this is just temporary measure. I don't know how they're gonna fix the audio in the meantime, but that's what's happening. Anyway, take it away, guys.
Okie dokie. Now that we actually
Alright.
have something to look at. Christ, that was a...
We have a pro draft on stream. I hope, is it on the screen your way?
Yeah, it is. It is on the screen, indeed.
Alright,
Okay.
so the bans are Cerberus has taken out 𝘀𝗀𝗃, 𝘁𝗀𝗃, and 𝘁𝗃𝗃. Over on the side of the 𝘁𝗃𝗃, Pantheon, Set, and 𝘀𝗃 have removed, and it's a first pick Graves. What are we thinking so far, lads?
I never thought
Oh,
it'd be
it's very, very
pro
quick. It's moving on
drafting.
very quickly. Okay. So 𝘁𝗃 and Acton, I think is a super strong combination, right? So we have a good setup from
Oh.
SGB so far, trying to play around the top side with 𝘁𝗀𝗃, who looked amazing yesterday. So I think that's a good start.
Yeah, meanwhile on the side of CES, they've gotten a great bot lane for 𝘁𝗀𝗃 and 𝘁𝗀𝗃. They are well within their...
Highlighted.
Yeah, it's annoying, I know. But we have a great bot lane set up for 𝘁𝗀𝗃 and 𝘁𝗀𝗃. They're generally your main carries. Graves is there for either 𝘁𝗀𝗃 or Ego, depending on who's in. We do not know at this point in time. But there's a Twist of Fate locked in for 𝘁𝗀𝗃. That's going to give him the ability to roam around the map, try and impact this top lane, and get his side lanes rolling. Because we all know it's 𝘁𝗀𝗃. He's not going to be the main carry.
So we see 2 top lane bans. A little bit surprising to see top lane bans when you already secured your Renekton. So they want to secure the best possible matchup. Quinn is still open. I haven't seen a successful Quinn in ages, but it would be the day to pull off the Quinn. I think so. Maybe something like that.
If it's pun, we could see Jax. I don't.
I mean,
think
Gragas
it's
is open.
quite
Gragas
likely.
is fine into
But
Renekton.
Gragas is also open. Yeah.
It's very
But you
ugly
also-
right now with the champions being highlighted. It's
Yeah, it
kind of hard
really
to
is.
see them.
This is genuinely the most scuffed thing I've ever seen.
It is.
We have
And
had
we
a
got an
45-minute delay. We cut to a World of Warcraft break, and it's still not the worst thing we've ever done. Like,
It's still not the worst thing. Oh no. But we have an Ashe for the side of variety. We're going to have to see, do they go for the Imperial Mandate build? Are they going to go for a more crit-centric build? Maybe we see them go for the Ginsus. Who knows? There's
Ashe is
so
actually
many
very
things you can build
interesting,
with
yeah.
Ashe right now.
Ashe is super cool for new itemization choices. It's actually,
Very-
I think it's the first time that support Ashe has, or supportive Ashe builds have actually made it to the main stage. There was the period with
Oh, yeah.
Trinity and Essence Reaver, but there was still, even though it was pretty supportive, still damage focused. The Imperial Mandate Mana Moon is what I want to see. Please.
And there are those two solo laners rounded out for Cerberus. Zoe and Gragas is going to have a lot of AP damage and a big beefy frontline if Gragas decides to go that way. Could go for a more burst heavy Night Harvester build, but probably not so likely into the Nectar.
And I'd say Cerberus's comp does not look like a VCS. This actually looks like
Really doesn't know.
LEC, like an LEC comp. An LEC, Aphelios is only picked with Thresh. Gragas top is high priority. We actually have another Gragas against Renekton top lane, so I think this Cerberus comp, apart from the obvious Graves I don't like, is actually looking pretty decent. So, like what I'm seeing, but 𝗁𝗨 Renekton is the classic. It's the Griffin 2019 or even 2018, I don't quite remember. The bread and butter for that team, getting kill after kill after kill in the top lane, is the easiest setup available for 𝗁𝗨, because of course Renekton just flash stuns, and then 𝗁𝗨 follows up with the seismic shove. So, interested to see which side can hold their own.
Yeah, I'm very interested to see how this bot lane performs. I think it's probably more likely going to be a... I would be giving the benefit of the doubt over towards Ron OP and Artemis, but there's a lot of hard engage in that bot lane, so if 𝗁𝗨 does decide to leave that Renekton on his own, she has a lot of setup down there that she can easily get that seismic shove off, and that should give her a lot of options on the map. Plus, with Froggy being able to roam around with the gold card, they can cause so much. They can pick off anyone they want. They're a really strong pick comp, and I hope they can play in snowballing these side lanes extremely well.
it's very possible. We'll have to see how things do work out. I'm not sure how long the break's going to be. Who knows? Maybe it'll be another hour, week, month. Who knows? The VCS, it'll just never end. Welcome to Mr. VCS's Wild Ride. There is no escape.
To fill you in, viewers, every day is actually the best case study for the I don't know, 5 stages of rage or so he starts off. He starts off, or grief, yeah, maybe it's grief.
He's currently in denial.
Yeah, he's in denial. He already went through anger. He was very angry before. Then he went to getting completely out of hand, crazy. I'm not sure what that stage is called, and now he's just denial.
There was singing in the break. Our producer didn't unmute us. There was a lot of singing. It is
Be glad it's
very
me
late at
producing
night
today.
for me.
Spoods would have unmuted you. I'm pretty sure.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Absolutely. No question. But we do have a draft, and in all seriousness, which draft do you guys like?
I would like to see it again. Can we please see the draft of the players?
That'd be cool.
So we had Renekton, 𝗁𝗨, Ashe, Leona. Mid lane was TF.
TF, yes.
Yeah, so that's a very comfortable draft for 𝘁𝗶𝗶𝗹𝘀. TF for Froggy, one of his best gems. Expect him to be 60 CS down by 20 minutes, but hopefully he has already accrued something like 5 kill participations at that point as well. It's Froggy is a little bit of a mini game for any new viewers. Froggy is basically just racing CS against kills, because Froggy needs to get kills because he can't CS. So you can play that mini game at home if you're bored. Just look at his CS and look at him go down 30 CS at 10 and 60 CS at 20 minutes.
It's how I play mid lane.
But TF is a good champ for him because he can impact the other sides of the map. So I feel like that's a very comfortable draft and very easy to execute, very straightforward. Focus top lane, go into team fights, try to get picks, and maybe into split pushing later on.
Meanwhile, on the side of Cerberus, I really like their draft. It's very oddball for VCS, but you've got the Gragas, you've got the Graves, the Zoe, Aphelios, and 𝘀𝘀. That's just a very solid team fighting comp. It's very versatile. It can do a lot of things. It can poke, it can siege, it can just 5v5, it can find picks. It's a very good all-round comp, and I think Cerberus have the skill to pull it off. And with Artemis on that Aphelios, they can always just try and play for late if they start to fall behind. So that gives them that little bit of an edge, because time will be on their side compared to the Renekton and support Ashe, which should fall off.
Yeah, we don't know if it's support Ashe, right? They could still go the usual crit Ashe build. It's still in the AD carry position, so we don't quite know. But I mean, Aphelios still outscales Ashe in the late game, I think, if Ashe is not paired with something like Lulu. So I feel like the Aphelios Gragas is a super strong late game setup, with Thresh in there as well for disengage and safety. And Zoe, I mean, Yado is known for his Zoe. He was known to the other players and the coaches of his team as Zoe, just straight up in the team house. So if you said Zoe, it was synonymous with Yado when we interviewed him. So I'm very, very happy for both teams, actually. This is going to be a good game if it starts. I'm not sure if we ever get to get gameplay, you know.
And I have a feeling there is a non-zero chance that I might have to start play-by-playing, because every day here has apparently gone bonkers.
It's another delay.
Wait, no, I'm not here. Where did I go?
Oh god, it's a solo cast.
There we go.
Guys,
There we go.
And
I'm back. Sorry.
I just want the game to start.
I don't think it's
been
actually
an hour.
I think they're just picking the champions for themselves.
I know, but it's 1 in, Vinny, and the second series hasn't started.
It's 1 in the morning.
This
Oh,
could
that's
go.
rough.
This could go to 3.
absolutely
Really
could.
easily.
Let's talk about predictions. I actually think it's going to go to 3.
Why did you open my eyes to that possibility? God damn it.
I mean, in terms of predictions, I'm not sure what I actually predicted, because I know I didn't change it after this week started, and perhaps I would have. I think 2-1's pretty reasonable in the favour of Cerberus. I think Cerberus is the heavy favourite, but SGB was certainly impressive yesterday, and certainly impressive enough to take 1 game.
Yeah, I feel much the same way. I'm gonna sort of cross my fingers and predict 2-0 for Cerberus, because I don't know if I really want to be up till 3 a.m. shouting. Actually, I'm not even casting, so I get to be mostly quiet for my neighbors. But it's still oh dear.
Yeah, let's try to ignore the fact that we're way too late and all the delays were annoying, because there are a few good things here. Very interesting teams, very good team compositions, and we're back in 1080p, so we can actually enjoy the game and don't have to guess at the pixels.
Yay!
Can I just go get Rakan out of his bad box and peek
Yeah.
past?
You almost said what it's actually called.
Yeah.
So
This is I mean, I do like these team comps. You are right. It is 𝘀𝗰𝗶𝗹𝗀, by the way. It is not 𝘀𝗀. Just to explain, because obviously 𝘀𝗀 was a very high-profile pickup for Cerberus. He's not banned. There's no issue. He's just sick. So he can't play this week. Unfortunate start for Cerberus, but 𝘀𝗀𝗏 has actually been pretty good.
yeah, and winning without your star pickup would be such a big boon for them after first week. They start 2-0, maybe even 4-0 in terms of games. Wow. And then 𝘀𝗀 comes in. That's a super good start for Cerberus.
Yeah, very powerful. Vinny, what's your prediction? Who's winning game 1?
I think Cerberus have a few more options to play this game out, so I'm going to go for them.
Sure thing. Let's find out. Just want to comment quickly. It is a few interesting rune choices. as that is Grasp of the Undying Gragas, which isn't so much as it's not so much interesting as it is telling.
Yeah.
And it is the lethal tempo of 𝘀𝘀.
Also lethal tempo Ash, so probably confirms
that too.
the crit build, because usually Comet is what you go for if you go for the more supportive kind of builds. So yeah, there's a few interesting pickups here. Also 𝘀𝘀ci going teleport flash as his base summoners. Of course, TF always goes for the spellbook, so you can change later on. But no cleanse into Zoe. That's quite an aggressive choice for him. So he wants to make more plays than even TF does normally.
Yeah, it's definitely the case. As we do see, BJ is not getting a leash. They want to get 𝘀𝘀ci and 𝘁𝘁ci off to a good start, so he will just take his blue buff on his own.
It's not too bad for 𝘁𝘁ci. She has a lot of single target damage. You can see she's actually a little bit behind in clear now, which is not very usual. We saw last game, which is already almost 2 hours ago, where 𝘁𝘁ci just completely outpassed 𝘀𝘀ci. So I think this is setting BJ a little bit behind, and with the mid lane priority, he can actually lose quite a bit here. If they double down on the invade, doesn't look like they want to. He's going to secure his red buff first, so ignoring the chickens. He probably has to ignore the topside 𝘁𝗃. I would like him to just hard clear topside, get to level 4, and surf down to the bot side 𝘁𝗁.
I think he might try and contest this topside 𝘁𝗁 just due to the ridiculous top lane priority.
Oh, that's right.
Been able to get over pun, and oh, that was some ugly CSing. Oh no, oh, okay, got that one. Good boy. That was some unfortunate tower shots there. So we will have to see where the junglers end up.
Where are you at?
252, 53.
Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. Please,
Am I
2
ahead
times.
of you?
No.
Oh.
You are very far behind.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll catch up one day.
So Graves actually stealing away the chickens. He's going to get to level... Oh, he's already level 4. So that's a big advantage for Graves over BJ, who just now hit level 4. Graves gave up the top lane 𝘁𝗁 though, and I'm not sure if I like this move. He could have tried to go for both 𝘁𝗁. Now he's going to trade top against bot 𝘁𝗁.
When you can.
347 now.
Oh god, I'm still so far. Alright, I'll catch up one day. Keep on going.
So we saw 𝘀𝘀𝘁𝗀ci actually avoiding a very devastating trade there against 𝘂𝑑o. 𝘂𝑑o not following up with the Pedal Star completely for the nice bubble he hit, but in the end, nothing really happened, nothing ventured, nothing gained for the mid laners. 𝘂𝑑o pretty low in mana though, and he has no TP. So he might have to sacrifice... Oh, no, he actually pushed on the wave, so that's a free reset here. That's very good for 𝘂𝑑o. Will give him nice lane positioning. But 𝘀𝘀𝘁 can cheat his way back into mid lane as well with his teleport. Not sure if he wants to do that though. I think his teleport is more to support the other laners. 𝘀𝘀𝘁 is known to sacrifice a few CS here and there. Let's call it sacrifice. Yeah.
Yeah, sacrifice. Yeah, to 𝘁𝑚𝗀 through the 5th dimension. What is your timestamp, just so we can get back in sync?
40, 41, 42.
Oh, now I'm ahead of you! Ooh,
Nice.
exciting. I'm going to pause at 50, so tell me when you get here.
8,
Actually, I can't pause.
9, 50. Okay,
I can't pause.
I'll try to catch up
A
now.
little bit. Now we're having tech issues. Lovely jubblies. As on my screen, it is just farming. Thankfully, we're not missing anything while we sort these things out.
I'm at 6
so
now,
I guess
7.
that's okay. 9, 10, 11.
Okay, you're 1
Good?
second behind. That should be alright.
All right, we should be good as 𝘀𝘀𝘁𝑐i and 𝘂𝑑o have a little bit of a strange trade. But in the end, no one really takes any damage unless 𝘂𝑑o hits his paddle star. He does not.
So far, a very surprising start here. Maybe players are a little bit hesitant to go for plays because they haven't been acclimated to the stage yet, right? They just came on stage after doing pick bans in the pick tool. How's it called again? Pro pick? No.
Pro draft.
Pro draft, right. So, not a lot of action. Both junglers just trying to get what they can from the other jungler. So far, Graves with a minor advantage. BJ spotted 𝘁𝘁𝑐i behind him.
Pun has just TP'd
So tanky.
in. Fook is here. Yeah, Pun's a bit too much of a big boy. He'll be able to clear that wave out. No problem. 𝘁𝑧med would have loved to go for the dive, but it would have been pretty foolish.
Yeah, and 6 minutes in, no kills is actually very unexpected for these two teams. Cerberus and 𝘁𝗁𝗵𝗶𝗹𝗀 last season at least were two very aggressive, very early game focused teams. So starting off with the 0 kills, yeah, quite a surprise. We should see the first one soon though, because 𝘀𝗀𝗆's level 6 now. 𝗃_j is going to hit level 6 soon as well, so we're going to see the coveted combo of the double ultimate there once again.
That we will. And we do have Pun going towards this Barmy Cinder, which just confirms what we already suspected, that it is going to be the tank Gragas will get very big as 𝘁𝗍𝗔 is on the run. The flamethrower is burning him. Artemis wants to get the last auto, but can't do it. He flashes forward. He's so deep. Surely it's going to be a 1-for-1 as they do collapse in on him. 𝗃_j will deal the damage. 𝘀𝗀𝗆 will get the kill. It's a 1-for-1 in the bot trade.
But I still like this aggression coming out of Cerberus. They know it's going to come. The other side is going to strike. It's TF, it's 𝗁𝗍. They are going to use their ultimates to get some kills. So the best way to prevent this from happening and to actually decide where it's going to happen is for you to strike first. So that's a very, very proactive and nice move from Cerberus to just initiate the kills. Oh, he got the CS. Nice. So let's look at this again. 𝘁𝗍𝗆 too far forward. His support was clearing some wards and didn't see 𝘁𝗆 coming from the side. 𝘀𝗀𝗆 with a nice save, but Artemis still able to get the first kill on 𝘁𝗍𝗆. They get 1 kill back. And 𝘀𝗀𝗆 now in trouble.
We come back alive, and 𝘀𝗀𝗆 is in some trouble, but 𝘁𝗆 is doing a good job on the other side. 𝗃_j going forward needs to get a little bit more damage, but 𝑟onoP has got the dancing shoes on. Gets out of there. On the other side, though, it was 𝘁𝗆 being found by 𝘁𝗍𝗆.
And there we go, there's the action we waited for. Players have finally decided to start the game. At 8 minutes, it's 2-for-2 in kills.
That is, as 𝘁𝗁𝗆 will just pick up this last bit of CS, and finally we do have this flurry of action. Let's have a look at the replay to see how this
𝘁𝗆's still level 4, low on mana as well. 𝘀𝗀𝗆 just walks a little too far forward. Nice setup from Cerberus with the pink ward there to surprise 𝘀𝗀𝗆 on the transition to Dragon. It was very likely there was going to path towards top side, bot side, where all his other players were. So nice cheeky pink ward, giving them the good engage on 𝘀𝗀𝗆. And in the end, it's once again a 1-for-1 trade. No one picks up the Dragon because they had to abandon the Dragon. 𝗃_j a little too aggressive there. Tried to go for the kill. Maybe a little bit of a solo queue play from 𝗃_j, who had a super impressive series in the first one. So not too bad, but of course could have been a little bit cleaner. In the end, nothing really happened. Both teams on very even footing.
Yeah, it is good to see that both teams are putting their best foot forward at the moment, really are striking hard, striking fast. We are waiting on the next Twisted Fate ultimate, the next Ashe ult. And that will be when 𝘁𝗁𝗵𝗶𝗹𝗀 can start calling the shots, or they're just going to do it now as the engage has come in. 𝘁𝗍𝗆 with a nice hook, but Artemis has absolutely no hope in hell.
And 𝗃_j just waited for the kill. he could have let the kill go to 𝘁𝗆𝗆, but instead he really wanted the kill. So I think that's okay. I think Ashes can deal with a little bit less gold than Aphelios or even than other players. And 𝗁𝗆 with an early gold lead can even try to invest into cheeky Dark Seal and then maybe a 𝘁𝗆𝗆, so she can really snowball out of control if she does it correctly. Also brings a lot of power to other lanes, so I really like this pickup here. Early penetration boots, so this 𝗁𝗆 is going to be super scary once she activates her ult to maybe go to Pun. Speaking of Pun...
Ooh, 𝘁𝗔med might be getting baited though. He has to flash away after using the Dominus.
Oh!
Just didn't realize... Oh! Okay. That arrow looked a little bit fancy, but doesn't mean anything. As 𝘁𝗁𝗆 is just going to be inconvenienced. It is a Rift Herald secured for Cerberus.
Yeah, and 𝘁𝗁𝗔med tried to assert his dominance in the top lane. Looked very strong in the 1v1 trade, but then Pun turned around. Pun also still had his flash available, so I don't think there was really any kill pressure. This top lane tank Gragas is so sturdy, so hard to kill, so hard to chase as well. So much disengage and mobility himself. So yeah, nothing really came from this for 𝘁𝗁𝗔med, but his flash is blown now, and he needs to be careful in the next play, because he's quite squishy.
Yeah, I don't think there was a huge kill potential. I think 𝘁𝗁𝗔med really just wanted to get Pun's flash, but there is a hook into the box. 𝘁𝗆 is getting targeted. The collateral damage doesn't do enough, and Leona, just so tanky, will manage to get away. but a Rift Herald is summoned, and tower plates for Artemis.
And that was super unlucky for Ariety. It actually looked like the eye was opening towards his side, but instead it was just faking him, faking the eye there. So they still get the 2 tower plates. Ariety, nicely done, good dodge. In the end, it's a gold positive trade for Cerberus mostly, but 𝘁𝗁𝗵𝗶𝗹𝗀 didn't fall too far behind. I'm not sure where they picked gold. Must have been on the other side of the map. Didn't actually pay attention to the map too closely, but no tower
I'm actually
plate.
not sure where they have. Yeah.
1 tower plate in mid, but that's evened out. Good farming, I guess.
I mean, I think it's just it's just little bits of farm lead, a little bit of Twisted Fate passive. There is a sleep. 𝘂𝗀 will not get seismically shoved, and will be able to retreat to his tower. Nothing lost.
Yeah, it's a good early game so far from 𝘁𝗁𝗵𝗶𝗹𝗀. Setting up everyone for success. 𝘁𝗂 has a nice little CS advantage in the top lane. It's going to be equalized with the wave running into 𝘁 right now, so probably just about like 1 wave advantage. It's still nice to have. 𝘁𝗂 needs to keep on pushing though, because Renekton against Gragas can really nullify Renekton. Instead, 𝘁𝗀 finally looking for the ultimate.
Here he goes, surfing the wall on in. Artemis has to cleanse the Ash Arrow, and the Lantern is so damn good. The Solar Flare will land a stun. Artemis uses that ultimate to heal, and look at all of the investment to get nothing.
Yeah, and how Cerberus is playing around the tools of 𝘁𝗁𝗵𝗶𝗹𝗀 is really, really strong. This is it's almost unavoidable to die to Taliyah level 9 with her ultimate, and they still get away. I think it's minor mechanical misplay from 𝘁𝗀, or not even misplay, but missed opportunity.
I hope there's a replay coming up, because there was a mechanical misplay, and I want to see if you can spot it. I didn't say it on the cast, I didn't have time, but it was in there.
So yeah, 𝘁𝗀 could have tried to use his W to interrupt the Lantern there. He didn't do that. He went for the burst combo to get as much damage as possible. It's not really a misplay, it's a missed opportunity, I'd say. I think you can try to anticipate the Lantern timing. If you get it correct, it's 100% a kill. So 𝘁𝗀 maybe going a little bit too much autopilot in the last 2 engages we've seen him. In the end, once again, nothing really lost for them but opportunity.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for a replay, because there was a certain card thrown. Here we go. Here is the replay. Ariety will launch the arrow.
Yeah, and there we see the W a little bit too late from 𝘁𝗀, a little bit misplaced, and there's a red card you're talking about.
Yep.
Not the greatest. Yeah, Froggy.
Flash stop with it. Flash red card.
That's really not what you want to see. Froggy even invested his real teleport to get there, not his ultimate. So. Yep. That's actually quite a bit invested into nothing, but now they should finally get the kill here.
Yes, 𝘁𝗀 will go gold, spends the stopwatch, but it won't save him. Just buys a tiny bit of time for nothing really. A bit of a waste of the stopwatch there, honestly.
Oh, for sure. It's even okay for him to die there. I mean, it's never nice. It's good to die. Oh, Artemis now in a very bad spot. That's a lot of damage. Oh, the E!
I am apparently behind you, because it's only just happening for me. 𝘁𝗀, oh, that's not a fair hitbox. The Toblerones pop, and that is a kill for 𝘁𝗀.
And Ariety and 𝘁𝗀 continue to impress. Very good mechanical plays from both of the players. So far, every single Ashe ult seems to have hit. And 𝘁𝗀 coming up clutch with all his shoves as well. Oh, 𝘁𝗂 on the flank.
Oh, 𝘂𝗀 has to flash away, goes golden, but he's got a crocodile right on top of him, grabs the lantern. 𝘁𝗀 will follow in with the Zenith Blade, but now he's under tower. He's going to go down. That's a kill donated to the 𝘁𝗀.
I'm very sorry, 𝘁𝗀. I cursed you. That was not fair for me. I apologize. I mean, you're a rookie. You have to deal with caster curses now. But I just praised him for his mechanics, and then he does that. Too deep, a little too far forward. But to be fair, his team probably called for the engage. And they're still pretty far ahead. Now more than 1k. And a dragon. Not sure what that wall was about. I think he just used it to escape to get to his jungle camps more quickly. It's now missing for the dragon fight, though. So, yeah, not the greatest. Especially because he's still level 10.
They got the first Drake. I mean, they got the first Drake. I think they just give this up. Just split the first 2 Drakes.
So they still want something here.
Poorly executed there. The timing was all wrong. The communication was shot there.
Yeah, so 𝘁𝗁𝗵𝗶𝗹𝗀 went for the dragon bait play, so they wanted to use the dragon as a big bait, and then force a team fight with better resets.
Barrel over the wall onto 𝘁𝗀, does a lot of damage, but they're going to turn it around. The Solar Flare is good to stop the play.
So in the end, nothing comes from it. I think Cerberus is showing us a little bit very good restraint, and will get a lot of gold with this push from Artemis. We all love to see white gun into turret. Very fair. 𝘀𝗀 missing his flash from earlier. He still gets the stun, but then 𝘂𝗀 with the extra movement speed. Very good Zhonya's, by the way. Dodging the seismic shove there. That would have hit him 100%. Waiting for a very good lantern. Then 𝘁𝗀 just a little bit too far forward. So nice defensive play from Cerberus. They are still a little bit behind the play overall, behind the run of play overall on the map. But with the Dragon execution and how they dodged 𝘁𝗁𝗵𝗶𝗹𝗀's reset there, they are getting closer and closer to an even position again.
I don't think them being behind the play is too unusual either.
Oh,
when you
for sure.
consider the Twisted Fate, the 𝘁𝗨, the Renekton, and even the Ash Arrow, there's so much engaged that I think Cerberus just being able to answer evenly constantly. They're 1,000 gold down, so not 100% evenly, but, you know, fairly evenly.
Yeah, I think we
has
actually
done really well.
I think we're actually seeing a masterclass against a broken composition.
Yeah. There was a bubble landing.
Oh,
but
𝘀𝗀, no!
has now arrived so deep. Goes on to 𝘁𝗀. A lot of damage gets done. Can 𝘁𝗀 finish it off? He definitely can. That's the first kill. 𝘀𝗀 needs to find a way out, as does 𝘁𝗀. 𝘁𝗀's just going to barrel bop his way back
not
in.
quite.
Ooh, misses 𝘁𝗀. This is a bit of a mistake here. But with the sleep landing, the collateral damage will clean up 𝘁𝗀. And that's a good little kill back. Ooh, be careful, Cerberus. 𝘁𝗀 is still very, very threatening on the 𝘁𝗁𝗵𝗀.
Back and forth and back. Now another opportunity for 𝘂𝗀. Can he hit the bubble? The pedal star, of course. Doesn't want to follow up into 𝘁𝗀. Very close fight, and once again we see both compositions have a lot going for them. The initial engage from the side of 𝘁𝗁𝗵𝗶𝗹𝗀 with a lot of point and click CC and follow up. Every single champion has a stun or a knockup of some sort, so that's an insane amount of CC coming from 𝘁𝗁𝗵𝗶𝗹𝗀's composition. I think Cerberus once again responded masterfully, kiting back, using all their long range tools to get one kill back, and they're actually going to win the whole play with the pickup of the mid lane turret. Oh, wait. Yeah, okay, that was very quick. Just a glimpse into the replay.
But I think they were cutting back because there is a bit of a contest around
good
this
catch.
Herald. A hook has landed. 𝘀𝗀 has secured it. 𝘁𝗀 going very deep. 𝘁𝗀 going to make sure that nobody gets zoned out. But 𝘁𝗀 is just left high and dry. Ariety is the target now, but with a good flash, he'll get away. And Cerberus are absolutely running SGB off the map.
Every day, I forgot to read the manual. How do I undo caster curses?
I'm sorry, friend, you can't do that.
Oh, it's so sad. He played so well, and then I said something about his play, and now he's missing every single engage. He's botching all the plays for his team. Oh, it's so sad to see. 𝘁𝗀 misplay after misplay now in the last few fights. Not what he wanted to see, and now actually giving Cerberus a way back into the game. They're still slightly behind in gold, but you have to factor in that TF passive is a balancing tool for TF. So TF is supposed to be ahead. When he's even, he's actually behind, because his passive gives him 370 gold per 100 CS. So that's not a good situation to be in for 𝘁𝗁𝗵𝗶𝗹𝗀. And Cerberus
Isn't it the other way around?
getting more and more confident.
It gives him extra gold.
But he's balanced around the extra gold, right? So I think this is an important point to keep in mind for TF and Gangplank as well. That yes, their teams have more gold just because of their passives, but the passives also are part of the kit.
Their power budget. Yeah.
So
Yeah,
being even against
I think
TF is never a good thing, or for the TF.
I think there's two ways to look at that, particularly with Gangplank. I don't want to divert us for too long, but I think Gangplank in particular, it's okay to be a little bit behind because you pick him as that kind of laner.
That's true.
Scale.
Oh,
anyway, let's not divert too much, as an arrow has been thrown out, but there's just no follow-up. 𝘁𝗀 just doesn't have flash, but just walks away.
Yeah, and in the end, nothing comes of it. Ariety hit another good arrow, but I think 𝘁𝗀 is now a little bit hesitant to follow up, because the last few times weren't the greatest. Also, I want to point out the build from Ashe, going for the full crit build, very defensive choice here, no aggressive Gale Force or anything, no Kraken Slay, instead going for the shield bow. So feels a little bit like a budget Samira to me.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, I think it is pretty common to go the shield bow Ashe.
I have no idea.
If you're not going the supportive style. I think shield bow is the most common.
Oh, Froggy.
Benefit her in a lot of ways. Froggy being very aggressive just loses his flash. Such a silly thing to do. Pun throws out a barrel to save himself. A little bit of damage onto Variety. Nothing that's going to really punish. The wall being used and no follow-up. SGB are just pressing buttons.
It's just a very long dance here. Both teams are just dancing around each other, trying to look for the one mistake, for the one opportunity to actually get a good fight, a good start to the fight, because both teams are so good at disengaging. Once again, we saw one game today already where everything was about the disengage, and the engaging team lost every single fight. Now I think 𝘀𝗰𝗶𝗹𝗀𝗀 is poked down a little too much. Oh, and another good catch from 𝘀𝗀𝗀.
Ooh, you're a little bit ahead of me because I've just seen that. Froggy does go for the cleanse. The arrow is good. 𝘀𝗀𝗶 will get absolutely blown up. Artemis trying to kite back using that red gun. But, oh, 𝘀𝗀𝗏 is so big. Look at him go. There's a huge flamethrower though. Turns it all around. The dragon is gone. But the kills have gone Cerberus's way at the end.
Some vintage 200 years performance there from Artemis. He was known as maybe our best 𝘀𝗏𝗏𝗀𝗏 player in the league. When Cerberus went on their big win streak at the start of summer, he played 𝘀𝗏𝗏𝗀𝗏𝗏 a lot of times, and that was once again a masterclass.
Catch, BJ.
Yeah,
Yep.
apparently, yes.
Wow.
Did not expect that.
Bonk.
And that was a lot of damage. He maxed his W, so that's a 5-point W catching him out there. And in the end, Cerberus with a very positive play. Still haven't gotten a big gold lead, but let's look at this fight again and this setup. Actually looks like 𝘀𝗰𝗶𝗹𝗀𝗀𝗀 is in a super precarious spot because the Froggy is low and gets hit by a bubble. But you also have to keep in mind that 𝘀𝗀𝗀 has almost no mana after this bubble. It's going to come out right now. Yeah, look at this. He has one Pedal Star. He's going to hit the Pedal Star only on 𝘀𝗏𝗏, while 𝘀𝗏𝗏 committed too far forward and dies immediately. And 𝘁𝗀𝗏, even through exhaust, is able to sustain through the front line. And now Artemis, look at this. Ooh, burned them all down. And even 𝘁𝗏𝗏 dies in the end.
Burn, baby, burn.
Actually, very surprised 𝘁𝗏𝗏𝗀𝗏𝗀 died here. Okay.
This is silly.
Yeah, I think if he kept
Just
running,
kept
he
running.
probably doesn't die.
Yeah, he surfs out of there. I think. Bit silly out of 𝘁𝗏𝗏𝗀𝗏𝗀. Rookie errors, rookie mistakes. But it was Cerberus once again managing to trade up. The gold has now been drawn dead on level. The Drake did go to SGB though, so that is an advantage in their back pocket.
Yeah, very minor one though, of course.
Yeah,
Probably.
Of course.
Probably going to delay Cerberus more than anything else, because I don't think 𝘀𝗰𝗶𝗹𝗀𝗀𝗀 is going to be looking for fights around Dragon for the next few Dragons. Maybe they are, we'll have to see, but I think they want to shift into the pick and run playstyle, maybe around the solo lanes. They have Renekton, TF, two very potent split pushers and side laners.
You've done a horrible thing to 𝘀𝗏𝗏𝗀𝗏𝗀𝗏. The
I'm so
ultimate
sorry.
did come in from the Frog, but it was stopped immediately. Pun charging on forward. Wants
Pun.
to get the catch. 𝘁𝗏𝗏𝗀𝗏𝗀𝗏 taking a lot of damage. There is a good barrel, making so much space, but Pun is really low. Alright, he's going to flash over the wall and get that kill donated to him. A mistake out of Pun.
It just seems like every time someone tries to engage, something bad happens to them.
No.
Oh, not quite. Not
Quiet.
Yeah, they're really trying to extend the pedal star. Oh,
Froggy's
Froggy!
just TP'd into the back. This is so bold. The health bars are low, but 𝘀𝗏𝗏𝗀𝗏𝗀𝗏 will get cleaned up. They will trade straight back onto Froggy, the sacrificial play once again. But now with 𝘀𝗀𝗏 moving forward, he has that Gore Drinker.
Gore Drinker, Zoe, let's go.
Gore Drinker, Zoe, go. He's used it.
Wow.
You love to see it. Wow, he did about 10 damage. Good on him. This is a bloodthirsty game. Like, not in terms of kills, like for the VCS, this isn't that high a kill total, but these teams are not stopping.
Yeah, the funny thing is we're constantly fighting, but no one is dying. There's only one kill per fight, a 1-for-1. So no one is really able to get off to a great lead after a fight, break the game wide open. There were 2 broken stopwatches in 𝘁𝗏𝗏𝗀𝗏𝗀𝗏's inventory just now. Interesting. Plus Sonya's, so he really likes to be golden. Yeah, 𝘀𝗏𝗏𝗀𝗏𝗀𝗏 missing another engage. Artemis channeling it over there, and then 𝘀𝗀 a little bit caught out. 𝘀𝗀gy almost goes down, and at this point, it seems like no one really knows how to kill anyone anymore, but then 𝘁 tries to get another angle, and 𝘁𝗍𝗔 actually finds 𝘁 alone and gets one kill, but this kill is going to be traded back in the extended fight. It's still the same fight, by the way, for 40 seconds now or something. Incredible shot from
Welcome to
𝘂𝗏.
the VCS. We have 45-minute delays and 45-minute fights.
𝘂𝗏 trying to get the snipe there, and then 𝘀𝗀gy comes back. Well, maybe he should have stayed in base. Not the greatest decision ever.
It is a 2-for-1.
Yeah, it's a 2-for-1
in
in the
a
whole.
Positive play for SGB. Maybe not a necessary one, though.
Yeah, 𝘁𝗍𝗔 flashed over the wall, though, so now he's in a little bit of a dangerous spot for the next fight. There's a lot of dive, especially from 𝘁. 𝘁 used his flash as well, but still, 𝘁 can E over the wall, maybe ult him into his team, even without his flash. So now we have to keep our eyes on 𝘁𝗍𝗔 and see how he plays the team fights, how he positions himself to not be in threat range of the enemy team.
Yeah. As 𝘂𝗏 clears out the vision, we'll make sure that Baron is an option for Cerberus. We are at 27 minutes. Feels like the game's not been going this long because it's just not stopped. A dragon is on the map, and it looks like Cerberus want to move over to it.
It's a really strange game, because even though we're 28 minutes in, there hasn't been one major moment in the game or anything. It's just a succession of fights after fights after fights. And speaking of which, the top laners want to brawl again.
Ooh, SGB have started up the dragon. The wall is out, stopping Cerberus from getting in for now. A very good wall. But they're going to get over the wall regardless. 𝘀𝗀 has stolen it, and he lanterns out. That is highway robbery.
Yeah, and that's unfortunate for 𝘁𝗀𝗏𝗶𝗶𝗋. They had great setup for this dragon. I talked about dragons being a little bit of a headache for 𝘁𝗀𝗏𝗶𝗋 because they don't really want to commit into the area of dragon because it's very dangerous into Aphelios, into Thresh. Even Zoe comes into play there with all the walls. But they still had a super good setup to secure this dragon and push to soul point. Now this gets stolen. They can't even get a kill. They can't even go to Baron. So that's just a losing play for them. And we're back to even. Actually, even absolutely everything in this game. I guess the only difference is Mountain Drake against Infernal Drake, which, interestingly enough, basically cancels itself out, right? One team gets more resistances, the other one gets more aggressive stats, so...
It is very hard for a game to get more even 28 minutes than this. This is really, really close. This is a rarity. It's hard to call which way this is going to go. I think Cerberus have been a bit more Johnny on the spot and reacting a little bit better than SGB, but this is on the razor's tip.
Yeah, I think Cerberus is probably favored at this stage of the game, because even for the Taliyah Renekton TF composition is basically behind, especially against the 3-item Aphelios, against a scaling tank Gragas in the top side. 𝘁𝗏𝗏𝗏 trying for another one.
Yeah, it will be answered by a hook from the Thresh, though. The seismic shove misses, and Cerberus have the option to just disengage.
𝘁𝗏 has flash in a few seconds.
Ooh, a bubble lands. Damage thuds in onto 𝘁𝗏𝗏𝗏. There's a barrel. More damage being dealt, but nothing lethal yet. I tell a lie, because 𝘁𝗏𝗏𝗏 is about to go down, and of course, 𝘁 had already fallen.
Where did 𝘀𝗀gy go?
1 for 1. Top lane for support, though.
And 𝘀𝗀gy just teleported out. He saw some CS and was like, okay, my opportunity to actually get CS in this game. Let's go.
𝘀𝗀gy going to CS? I think the pause was because the real 𝘀𝗀gy died. They've replaced him with someone else.
It's a very aggressive Baron call.
This is a good game, though, so far. We're enjoying it.
𝘀𝗀, hello? You should probably step away from 𝘁𝗀𝗏𝗏𝗏.
Oh, yeah, okay. He's got a lantern at least. That's lucky.
𝘁𝗏𝗏𝗏 is still on the hunt here. They probably know roughly where he is. Good sidestepping.
Tower going down. Yeah, 𝘂𝗏𝗏 with the fancy feet there. Well done.
It's not
no
over.
Ash arrow or anything. Here comes the teleport, the big boy in the back line. It's Pun. He's going to get that belly a wobbling. There it goes onto Ariety. They need to try and blow up the Ash. The shield procs, but it's not enough. The flamethrower burns, doing a little bit of damage. Froggy goes gold. They should be able to clean him up momentarily. There it is. 𝘁𝗛𝗏 gets that kill, and this is all Cerberus. 𝘁𝗏𝗏 gets bopped into the team. The flash hook does not quite land from 𝘁𝗏𝗏, but this is all Cerberus. They've just broken this game open. 𝘁𝗏𝗀 is getting caught out by Pun here. Can he surf away? He should be able to. I don't think Pun can catch. I tell a lie, he totally can. And 𝘁𝗏𝗀 will momentarily be going to the grave.
Is that enough time to finish the game? Probably only an inhibitor, maybe into Baron.
I think it's an inhibitor Baron.
Yeah, I think so too. But there was some exquisite positioning and kiting from 𝘁𝗏𝗏. Really something for the ADC aficionados. I really like to see very good ADC play. And as a support main for many, many years, I really appreciate those teamfight moments for ADC mains. So once we get into the replay, keep your eyes on 𝘁𝗏𝗏 and how he dodges around 𝘁𝗏𝗀's skills mostly. He's not getting hit by anything, but getting hit are maybe some other members from Cerberus.
Teleport is coming in.
Oh no.
They're on the Baron. 5,000 health. 4,003.5. We need to see if 𝘀𝗀 can secure it. They are pushing on forward. 𝘁𝗏𝗏 is drawing so much aggro. And now it's 𝘁𝗏𝗏 and 𝘀𝗀 in the pit. I'm trying to keep an eye on this Baron, but all the health bars are so low. 𝘀𝗀's going to go down. He has to leave the pit. He will not be there to smite. 𝘁𝗏𝗏 dies. 𝘁𝗏𝗏's doing everything he can, including securing the objective. And SGB, it looked like this might be their moment to return to greatness. But no, it is all Cerberus. All three heads bite down hard, and they take a huge win.
Yeah, and for a moment there it looked like 𝘀𝗀 was getting zoned, and that's probably the steal. But then you realize 𝘁𝗏𝗀 is not even up, not even there. So even though they denied the jungler entrance into the pit, was still DPS check positive for Cerberus. They had a much higher chance of securing the Baron. That's what happened. Ow, ooh, hoo, hoo. That's a big Zoe damage, and that should be game one. Very explosive. What a performance.
Very explosive and very, very close. You know what? I don't like the delay, but if that's what we're waiting for, I'm almost happy to wait. That was a fantastic performance out of Cerberus, but SGB kept them honest for as long as they possibly could. Fantastic stuff from both sides. That is some VCS action.
Very unique game, I think. So most games follow a certain formula, right? You have certain breakpoints where the first gank happens and the first big lead happens, and then 10 minutes later you get to see if the lead actually materializes into a win, or if the other team can come back at that point. This game had none of these moments. Maybe at the very end there are two team fights, but the first 28, 30 minutes was just back and forth, very close calls all the time, 1-for-1 trades, 1-for-0 trades, 2-for-1 trades, back and forth, gold is even, no one can really go to a great advantage. It's very seldom in modern League of Legends that you can't accelerate a game from either side. Most games are actually basically a race where one side starts ahead and the other tries to catch up, and then it's just, can they catch up? This game was just even Stevens to the end. Very, very interesting game.
And it was a banger. I hope you all enjoyed it. I certainly enjoyed yelling about it. We hope you're enjoying the show. If you are, let us know in chat. It makes us feel better. And after the delay we had, we need to feel better. But don't go anywhere. It should only be a few minutes to bring you game 2. And in a series like this, you can't miss any of it. Welcome back, everybody. We have potentially a game 2. We don't know if there'll be another delay. We're rolling them dice to see if there will be. But it was a very, very good game in game 1. Out of both of our teams, honestly, it was on a knife's edge until it wasn't. In the end, it was SGB going down. It is Cerberus taking a lead. And Vinnie, what was your impression after game 1?
𝘁𝗏𝗏, go to the hunt, give him Aphelios and wreck the Buffaloes.
You were about to say something very different. When you started that with hunt, I got worried.
That is, it's called a bait and switch. And
It's a good one. I liked it.
that was the point. So, absolutely came online at the end, come around the mid game and wrecked the Buffaloes. That first real dragon fight, even though they lost the dragon, that massive ultimate out of Artemis really pushed him into a lead that he was able to run with. He was able to play extremely well with a bit of support from Ron OP and the rest of his team. Just really able to put out so much damage and really carry those team fights into victory. And that was the main strength of Cerberus's comp, that over the Buffaloes, they had a much better team fight, whereas the Buffaloes had a very good pick comp, and they would want to find these picks and on the open map and then turn those into objectives. When they were forced to team fight, which they ended up doing quite a lot because it's the VCS, and of course that happens, it meant that the comp for Cerberus came out on top, and yeah, we just got to see Artemis shine.
Yeah, and for once we're actually agreeing with the official broadcast. They've been giving up out ADC MVPs every single game, basically. But this time we actually follow, because Artemis had an amazing performance. I think he's once again making the case for best Aphelios in the league. I think the only one coming close to his skill on Aphelios is probably 𝘀cie𝗰𝗶𝗹𝘀𝘀, who also is a very, very good Aphelios player. But Artemis, the kiting, the stutter stepping in and out of range from especially 𝘁𝗀𝗀 on the 𝘁𝗃 was amazing in team fights. And of course, Renekton can't even touch him, because Aphelios is really good against him. So that was impressive to see. And I mean, last split summer, we started out saying Artemis is in contention for MVP for the whole split. Do you remember the first 6 weeks where they go?
Yeah, and he was.
Yeah.
He was our mid-season MVP. He was amazing. So it's only, we can't get our hopes up too much for Cerberus, because we have seen this before. We have seen a 10-0 start, a 6-0 start, and then, well, then it all fell apart. But it's still a very good sign, right? Especially with the substitute jungler.
True. And so, how does SGB get back into this? Because they didn't get smashed.
No.
They definitely played it close. What do they need to change up? Is there a hole in the draft they could patch? Or was it just mistakes on the Rift?
Better column A, better column B. They could have played better in certain situations. 𝘁𝗏𝗏, of course, was horribly influenced by our most biased caster, Yulwei, who likes to praise people and then cause them to completely fail. So 2
victims this week already.
2
Secret and
victims this week.
𝘁𝗏𝗏, I'm so sorry.
But I think for Saigon Buffalo in draft, you could be looking to draft a much simpler comp, draft something much more focused around these 5v5 team fights. Don't go for something like this pick comp where the floor you need to perform at is much higher. Give yourself a low floor comp. Give yourself just a front line and two main carries. That's all you need to do. I think you can pull that off. You're decent. You're a solid team, but you've got a lot of rookies. Keep it simple at this stage.
And we have a real lobby, boys. We're going in. SGB has moved over to that
I
blue
missed pro
side.
draft already.
Wait, but they're not even able to highlight all the champions. The first ban is going to be that 𝘁𝗏𝗏. I like this. It kind of pseudo bans Aphelios, at least in a lot of people's eyes.
It's really cool and intelligent, this ban, because you're leaving open Aphelios for one of the best Aphelios players, but you're basically telling him, okay, go ahead, play Aphelios without 𝘁𝗏𝗏, you're nothing. You're going to die over and over again. So if you're up to the challenge, please go ahead. But we are basically banning away Aphelios 2.0, which is Aphelios plus 𝘁𝗏𝗏.
They say that as a 𝘀𝗏𝗏 can't perform more or less, most of the same duties as 𝘁𝗏𝗏 in that situation. And of course, there's always things like Janna and all sorts of things that can help Aphelios out, but 𝘁𝗏𝗏 is of course the premier one that is never out of meta because he's just got such a powerful kit. But I was seeing a 𝘁𝗏𝗏 picked up for variety, very strong AD carry. We're gonna have to see what Cerberus's response is. Samira is still on the table. I would expect to see that being picked up in this first rotation.
Yeah, 𝘁𝗏𝗏𝗶𝗹𝗏𝗀. It's Pun's favorite champ, I believe. He came into the...
I'm out of sync, so you guys are going to have to...
Yeah. Samira picked up here by Cerberus, followed up with another Graves. potentially. I mean, 𝘀𝗀 had a pretty good game here on the Grace in game 1. And Samira, we already talked about this today. Pretty good into 𝘁𝗀𝗃 individually, because she can block a lot of the bursts from 𝘁𝗀𝗃, so she's not going to fall prey to any of the 𝘁𝗀𝗃's assassination attempts. Most likely not. Oh no, why, again? Nah.
Okay, so Graves is one of the better junglers for Udyr to work with, because especially if he's paired with the mid lane 𝘁𝗀𝗃, because he can just set up, he can just run at Graves. Graves can't really do much to get away from him, unless there's a wall, I suppose. And then he just gets to do that. Just to do interesting things with that. However, Yado's back on his Zoe. He's had excellent performances on that so far this split. So, see, Cerberus is just getting what they want.
Yeah, and 𝘀𝗀gy getting what he wants as well. With the 𝘁𝗀𝗃, another classic for 𝘀𝗀gy. It's basically Pantheon, TF, 𝘁𝗀𝗃. Those 3 champions, because they can roam. But it seems like, yeah, Cerberus is reading the same as you did here. The 𝘁𝗀𝗃 may be flexing into the bot lane, because they ban away the TF. So, focusing mid lane right now. I don't think you ban another 𝘀𝗀gy champ. Is there another 𝘀𝗀gy champ? 𝘁𝗀, I guess.
His Syndra and 𝘁𝗀 are both pretty effective. He's played the Renekton in this split. So
Renekton is banned already though, so
yeah, true. So he can play a lot of other things. These roaming champions are much more effective on that lower CS, which 𝘀𝗀gy is bound to have.
Are we not going to talk about the Udyr?
We touched on it already.
I know you did, but
I made my dislike pretty clear audibly.
I have to say, I'm not a big fan of Ren banning away this rel, because that means we don't get to see it played.
That's true.
Rude, basically. That's
Rel
all
Samira is
I have
very
to say
strong.
on that point. It's a very strong pick, and I understand the ban, but you can just pick Rel 2, or, well, Leona 1, I suppose. Because Leona, she was here first. She gets the 1. So similar sort of thing with Rel, a little bit less defensive, but hey, it doesn't. If they're dead, that's the best form of defense.
What is happening, Vinnie? What is happening?
𝘁𝗀𝗃 top.
oh,
𝘁𝗀𝗃 mid.
Nah, it's mid probably, right? Because Akali for Husmid, that's one I want to see. I'm not sure about this 𝘁𝗀𝗃 mid lane. Reminds me too much of certain other mid lane players who like to play ADCs.
𝘀𝗀gy 𝘁𝗀𝗃.
Finally, 𝘀𝗀gy gets to live up to his name and hop around the rift.
That's 𝘀𝗀gy 𝘁𝗀𝗃.
Oh, it's perfect.
Okay, so it could still be Husmid's 𝘁𝗀𝗃, in which case it's 𝘀𝗀gy's
I mean, he gets to
Akali.
he
I don't
gets to
know which is
jump
the more
he gets to jump on Akali too, so that still holds true.
Yeah, it's almost certainly 𝘁𝗀𝗃 time. We are like obviously Husmed is an amazing Akali player, but surely
Oh, it could be
It's not.
Akali mid lane for Husmid and 𝘀𝗀gy flexing into top lane.
It's true. We have seen 𝘀𝗀gy
True.
play that top lane position back on FTV and when they got knocked out of promos.
think
Yeah, I mean,
this is
𝘀𝗀gy is
𝘁𝗀𝗃.
basically not.
This is 𝘀𝗀gy's 𝘁𝗀𝗃, which sort of makes some sense, as otherwise you're blind picking 𝘁𝗀𝗃 top.
There was a dodge. Did someone on SGB just say, "Yeah, okay, we're not doing 𝘁𝗀𝗃"?
No, they
Let's just go home,
They
guys.
failed to swap. They
right.
failed to swap before the 20-second mark. The Malphite would have been locked into support and the Leona into top lane.
Yeah,
They
I mean,
obviously don't want to do that.
VCS teams have a long-standing history with being unable to do champion selects. Some
Only
say
way to beat Mark.
some say the only
Fun-
international
fun
final we ever
story.
got to is.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Fun story. If you go back to the mid-season cup, we have reliable information that some of the PCS teams full on didn't want to play anymore because of how bad VCS teams were with having to remake drafts. That's not a joke. Their draft mechanics are that bad.
Which is
It's ridiculous.
Which is very surprising considering how good they are in game. It should be pretty easy to click on champions in the draft phase, but you know.
The only one I would really give a pass to is 𝘁𝗀𝗃. And even then, he should know by now. But,
man.
moving on.
So we're
So we've
probably
seen the
waiting
draft.
for the draft to be remade because they have to reselect all the champions. So that's why we're staring at the players once
Callista
again.
top. Callista top. Bonds with Udyr. Udyr.
Callista
That's
mid, by
actually
the way.
cool, yeah.
Well, I think they'll swap lanes.
Yeah, fair.
I think it'll be the mid lane player, but I think he'll go top.
But in that case, that means they blind picked Callista top, which is a weird thought.
I mean, they put Froggy on Callista. There was no logic going through their heads.
Excuse me, I just said the logic. He's froggy. He hop around the map. Hoppy,
This-
hoppy, hoppy, hoppy. How can you tell it's nearly 2 a.m.?
Yeah, we can. Yeah, we can. It's getting real late at night here, and me and Vinny are going a little bit insane. I don't know if you can tell. Been up for a long time, but this is. If 𝘀𝗰𝗶𝗹𝗀 lose this game, they obviously lose the series. But if they lose this game and it just doesn't work, what the hell were they doing? They have to have practiced.
Oh, well,
This
probably.
This has to be like something they've done in scrims.
You'd think it's something they've
Yeah,
done in script.
hopefully. Once again, I don't really want to talk or to think too much about mid lane players in the VCS going to top lane with ADC picks, because we have very, very bad memories to a certain player who had a lot of problems. So I'm not sure about that one. So I hope. I mean, 𝘀𝗀𝗶𝗶𝗹𝗀 looks like it's going to take a few hours until they're ready. He looks very bored on stage. What is going on? Come on,
Meet you
guys.
outside Orgrimmar?
You just have to
No.
lock in your champions, please.
I'm not going back to Ogrima. Ogrima doesn't exist.
Just scared, obviously.
I don't play PvP. This is unfair. Well.
I just want the game to start. I
also
can't analyze these comps. There is an Udyr and Froggy is playing Callista. I can't analyze this. I have to just see how it works.
So we're going to shout out our graphics designer who absolutely killed at this split. Unbelievable work. And that's why I'm going to long transition to show all of his very cool animations he did for us. And here we are. Hey, we are here again because there's a pause. Yay.
There's a pause because people don't know how draft mechanics work.
Yep,
I like
it does
pro
appear
draft.
there is pause.
Pro draft seem to work better.
I'm really not sure how it can take so long to just set up a new tournament draft without even without pick and bans. You can just go blind pick and just lock everything in 5 seconds and you're good to go.
You'd think so, but apparently not. But while we do have this pause, we'll do a little bit of a plug while I've got you all here. We do a lot of work in everything. As you can see, Spoods, who is our graphic designer, and he often does our production. He's not here tonight, but most of the time he does production as well, even if he doesn't appear on camera.
And he took hours yesterday to explain to Boomer Yulwei how it works.
Yeah, Spoods puts in dozens of hours of work. Obviously, we put in dozens of hours of work on camera, but also a lot of stuff behind the scenes. We also have our content team, people like Panda, 𝘀𝗀𝗰𝗶𝗹𝗀, Side even, that helps with our social media, putting in just so much work. If you can help out, there's a Patreon link that's been posted in chat. We really would appreciate it. Look, we're all broke. We understand. If you can't afford it, you can't afford it. But seriously, any amount you can give does really help, because realistically, I don't know how much longer we can keep doing this without any budget. I'm going to be real with you. We do put in a lot of time, but, doing this and working a full-time job is really not viable. So if you can help out, we'd appreciate it.
Indeed.
Indeed. We all love doing this. It's a labor of love, but unfortunately, people gotta eat.
Unfortunately,
people gotta eat.
Yeah. Unfortunately, yeah. I'd love to do this for free. I don't do it for the money, but my landlord kind of expects me to pay rent. And yeah, I can't afford that at the moment. And it would be good if this paid a little bit. So yeah, if you can support our Patreon or just donate directly to the stream or subscribe, that sort of thing, it'd be super appreciated. It supports the whole team. We are all volunteers. We don't make any money. So we'd like to be able to start paying people, both the casters, our graphic designers, our social media team, etc. Because everyone deserves some reward. But anyway, we are going to focus back in the game. Excuse me. As it does look like we are heading in. It is going to be 𝘁𝗲𝗔 on the 𝘁𝗍𝗄, 𝘀𝗀𝗏 on the 𝘀𝗀𝗏. That's confirmed now. And of course, it will be the top lane Malphite, not the support Malphite. That was obviously the mistake that made the remake happen. And
Well,
look,
is it a top lane
𝘁𝗏𝗏𝗏?
Malphite? I'm not sure about that. It's probably a magnet to 𝘀𝗀𝗏 Malphite. He just wants to go wherever 𝘀𝗀𝗏 is because he doesn't want to deal with 𝘁𝗏𝗏.
Okay.
But do you really put Zoe into the top lane? That's the only
she's
downside with
fast, I think. She can probably run away from 𝘁𝗏𝗏. Maybe not once level 6 hits, that's true.
She's not the most mobile, that's the thing. Like, she has fake mobility with her portal jump and the speed up on her summoner spells, but other than that, it's not really the most mobile champ. Could have some issues against in that longer lane. But that said, I think overall, it's a much more sensible comp for Cerberus. They should generally they tend to have much cleaner mid to late games. So my prediction, before we go on into the cast itself, is Cerberus is going to take this 2-0. But I'm excited to see what this 𝘀𝗀𝗏 𝘀𝗀𝗏 does.
I'm not sure if I'm excited or scared. Oh, what's your read every day?
terrified.
Terrified
Fully
is good.
terrified.
Terrified is a very good word, yeah. Oh man.
But Vinny, do you have a quick prediction before we get
You
into
predicted
I
CES.
just said Cerberus.
it? Okay, sorry, I missed it. I'm sorry. Cerberus. So no game 3. I'm gonna be honest. I hope that's the case because it's late at night, boys. We have had some big old.
But I have to say, this
big
𝘁𝗏𝗏
ol'
skin looks amazing. What is that?
Yeah, Marauder 𝘁𝗏𝗏. It's the new one, Marauder 𝘁𝗏𝗏. It's really nice.
The color scheme is so cool.
Mhm.
Wow. Holy. Really like the skin. So I hate 𝘀𝗀𝗏. I think he's a very boring champion with very straightforward and very boring game plan. So let's see if he can do something that surprises me. It's probably going... Oh, it's actually Tiger 𝘀𝗀𝗏. I'm not sure if that's common right now. And I know at some point in the preseason, Phoenix 𝘀𝗀𝗏 was way better. Maybe Tiger 𝘀𝗀𝗏 is stronger now. I actually have to check that.
I mean, it's Phoenix as well. He's got Phoenix form as his second.
He's Tiger and Phoenix. That's very interesting. Okay, I'm just quickly going to do some research on 𝘀𝗀𝗏 skill choices right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely interesting. Normally, it's Phoenix or Tiger, and that just dictates what we're doing.
So it seems
Or what
like you
he's building,
start Q and then abandon Q for the rest of the game. Don't put a
That makes
single
sense.
other point into Q. So it's Q and then R max, and you only skill W at level 6. So interesting one.
Yeah.
Very single
that makes
target DPS focused skill.
So we do have 𝘀𝗀𝗏 up against the Zoe. Does 𝘁𝗀𝗏 solo lane, like, the whole point is to be a huge lane bully. Does it lane bully Zoe? I guess early on it does because it just does a lot of damage, but I don't think it consistently does. It's not going to do things like the 𝘁𝗏, where he's 100 CS ahead at 15 minutes.
Yeah, I think the problem with mid lane 𝘁𝗏𝗏, I think it still wins lane against pretty much every champion in the game. Oh, no pun. But the problem is you can't really punish too much, right? Zoe can just stay under turret, and the turret is only 2 feet away from the rest of the mid lane. So it's very easy to not die and still collect a lot of CS. So I think that's the bigger problem for mid lane.
Yulwei, pop quiz. Why are 𝘁𝗏𝗏 and Artemis' flash on cooldown?
Wait, what? I guess there
You
was a
didn't
level
say
1
anything,
or
did
level
we?
2 engaged in the bot lane, which you didn't see. Interesting, okay.
Yep, observers missed that one, unfortunately, as 𝘁𝗀𝗀 rotates through the mid lane to help froggy get a shove.
Oh.
Gets a bubble put onto him, though. Lane bully, by the way.
Froggy's dead, by the way.
By the way, Froggy is dead. 𝘀𝗀𝗀's going to go down as well, traded on back. But that's
And
not
more
what Spoods
fighting
is
in bot
gonna do.
lane.
And down to the bot lane we go, as 𝘁𝗀𝗻 is going to get a kill. No, it's taken away by 𝘁𝗀𝗃, having to flash. And Cerberus gets a flurry of gold.
Nice start from the Cerberus. Could have been even better if 𝘀𝗀𝗻 made it to the flash. So the reason he kited upwards towards the Udyr after getting the solo kill was to collect the enemy flash and flash away and get another speed boost. It's very hard to judge if he might have gotten away if he immediately just started to run towards his tower. I'm not sure. Probably not with Udyr flash available. But yeah, a little bit unfortunate for 𝘀𝗀𝗻 there. Still gets the solo kill, and Froggy starting off horribly on this very peculiar, you know what I mean?
Peculiar, you got it right, you got it.
Pick in the mid lane.
You did it. I'm proud of you. And yeah, it is just going to be the immediate Seeker's arm guard being bought by 𝘀𝗀𝗻, being accelerated towards that bit of armor. But let's have a look at actually what happened down here.
So we start with the Leona engage, and 𝘁𝗀𝗃 basically waits for Samira to strike, because he knows just stunning the Leona doesn't really make any sense, because Samira is just going to wait and then engage. That's exactly what happened. So the engage from Leona was very smart, just onto 𝘁𝗀𝗃, and 𝘁𝗀𝗃 didn't really fight back much on the Galio, because he was just waiting for Samira to get close enough for him to turn the fight around. So very intelligent engage and positioning from 𝘁𝗻𝗻 and 𝘁𝗀𝗃 to get the... I mean, it was not a 2v2 kill with 𝘁𝗃 participating, but still an early bot lane kill.
It is. And let's see what they sort of do with it. We do have the serrated Dirk picked up immediately for Variety. Looking for some early damage spiking. I think SGB wants to fight early and often. I think that makes a lot of sense considering they do have this ๊Callista and this Udyr.
Yeah, it's a very, very strong item early on for ๊Callista. Her burst traits are insane. Though, of course, as we have talked about again and again today, it's basically the theme of bot lane today. Oh, no time for that. 𝘁𝗻𝗻 is getting caught by a taunt.
Yep, the taunt is out, as are the Winds of War. The Justice Punch goes flying on in.
Oh, 𝘁𝗀𝗀 level 6.
Well to stop any follow-up. Yeah, 𝘁𝗀𝗀 is level 6, but it's not a very impactful level 6. It's just an Udyr. 𝘁𝗃 just gets back over the wall. But that should be a dragon for SGB.
He's so fast. And of course, this is what Udyr does best. Just focus objectives. He can be very scary and deal a lot of damage, but he also burns through every single objective on the map. 𝘀𝗀𝗀 staying safe. Very close. Cerberus hasn't really abandoned this fight yet. They want to re-engage here.
They do. 𝘁𝗀𝗃 throws out the Zenith Blade, misses. I have no idea what 𝘀𝗀𝗀 had in his W there. And they will just disengage. Apparently it's Everfrost. Thanks, Vinnie.
That was a strange one. That was a very strange encounter again. These two teams are just dancing around each other so much in this series so far. First game was back and forth, and we're once again at that stage where both teams want to fight but don't want to lose the game in one fight, so they're very hesitant to actually pull the trigger. They forced the TP from Hasmid, so Pun with the TP disadvantage from early on in the lane now doesn't get punished by Hasmid teleporting back in an advantageous lane position. Instead, he had to walk back, the walk of shame, after a failed teleport to the top lane. He's still 10 CS up though.
Yeah, as he should be against a Malphite, let's be honest. Pun is just going to try and pick up what he can, slow Hasmid down as much as possible, but realistically he can't really win this lane. And I'd like to sound the alarm as Froggy has a CS lead. Froggy
ding, ding,
has
ding.
a CS lead. Ding, 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 ding. Call the photos because it's never going to happen again. 𝘁𝗀𝗃 is dead on the bot side. And we are back to an SGB lead as they've gone a weird draft and it's working out well.
Actually, not quite sure what happened there to 𝘁𝗀𝗃. I think his flash was pretty badly timed. Also, 𝘁𝗀𝗃 maybe not able to diffuse all the projectiles that were important to the kill. So let's see. It's just a very good taunt from 𝘀cie. And too early on the Blade Whirl, I think is the name,
Yep,
right?
correct.
On the Blade Whirl there. A little bit too early. I thought the burst was coming in at the start, but very smart from 𝘀cie to wait out the initial burst window and then go in for the kill anyway. The kill goes over to 𝘀cie, so not the perfect target. Still nice to have, of course, and they get back in the bot lane. It's 1-for-1 in the bot lane trades.
That it is. And we do have a lot of presence up towards the top side that secures 𝘁𝗀𝗀 a Rift Herald, so that is another objective going in the favor of SGB. They do have a nice little lead for themselves here. To be fair though, they do have a very aggressive early game composition.
Yeah, once again.
So you'd hope they have a lead. They need to keep it going.
Yeah, the same happened last game, where they had a 1k gold lead, then it was only a 500 gold lead, then the game was even, and even though the gold was even, the game wasn't actually that even, because their composition wasn't as potent in the late game, not as coherent, not as well-rounded. So I think Cerberus is, if not happy, then at least they are not worrying too much. Yeah, content is maybe a little bit too strong as well, but at this point they're not worrying too much. It's okay for them. It's not the perfect state. It's not what they hoped for, but yeah, they can still win the game. They don't have to pull out the magic to get back here.
No, they don't. 𝘁𝗀𝗀 hovering around the bot side here as 𝘀oggy's clearing out some vision. The pings are for the dive. We do have Fate's Call available to get 𝘀𝗀𝗃 back out if he needs to, but 𝘁allista's actually been put to sleep. They're trying to outplay this, but 𝘁𝗀𝗃, will he survive? No, this Samira is not enough, but 𝘁𝗀𝗃 has to get called out. Artemis with a good flash. He tries to dash, but no, even Samira can't get out of that one. It was 1 kill traded back, picked up by 𝘀𝗀, but it's 2 kills for SGB.
And Artemis is on today. That was a very impressive timing on the skills for Artemis. Very good Samira play. Actually delayed the dive by a lot with his Blade Whirl. But this time around, of course, 𝘀oggy arrived in time and called his jungler out there, helped him survive for a few seconds longer. Then, of course, 𝘀𝗀𝗃 arrived as well for another counter kill. So once again, advantageous trade for 𝘁𝗀𝗶𝗹𝗀. And we're going to see the replay here. 𝘁𝗀𝗃 just straight up stunning Ron OP. Good bubble to delay 𝘀oggy, and they thought they might be able to get the kill on 𝘁𝗀𝗃 before 𝘀oggy gets into Fate's Call range. Not quite able to do so. But still, impressive show of mechanics, and 𝘁𝗀𝗶𝗹𝗀 win the overall fight, which they should at this point still. They get to a 2k gold lead, and now it's going their way. They're not in a position that is secure by any means, but it's definitely looking better than last game.
It is, but I'm not sure the lead is in the right places. 𝘀cie has picked up 2 of the kills, which you're obviously not happy about. 𝘀oggy is even in CS. Improvement for 𝘀oggy, sure. Not what the 𝘂alista pick is meant to do, though. 𝘂𝗀𝗃 should be... I mean, this is why I think it's so much better top rather than mid, but you're meant to be making them the enemy laner irrelevant, not just going even with them. Rift Herald summoned up in mid. 𝘂𝗀𝗃 just doesn't seem to care about it.
Yeah, he's just trying to deny 𝘀oggy from having any of the gold, because in the end, 𝘀𝗃 golds can actually be completely useless. If 𝘀𝗃 never gets to attack you, all the gold he gets from farming, from turret platings, will not have any effect on the outcome of the game. So I actually think it's very smart to just invest all the time and all the zoning from 𝘂𝗀𝗃 to get 𝘀oggy far enough away so that the gold solely goes into 𝘁𝗀𝗃's pockets, who also picks up another dragon, so that's a good step towards the snowball. Sadly for them though, it's only a Cloud Soul, so not what they hoped for. They were coming to the dragon hoping for the Infernal Soul to really have another way to win this game.
Yeah, that is unfortunate for them. Though a Cloud Soul is definitely not a terrible thing. They can definitely ride that snowball. 𝘀𝗃 loves it after all. Lots of move speed to try and catch up to people. But Cerberus are definitely still within touching distance, and as long as they can maintain that, they're not too worried, as you were saying.
Yeah, especially because 𝘂𝗀𝗃 got a lot of the early kills, and 𝘂𝗀𝗃's Zoe is amazing. He already showcased it in the last game. He's going to make some very nice plays. Even in this game, he already got a solo kill. at the very start.
BJ's coming in on it though. That was an unfortunate bubble. A minion really get down, Mr. President.
Oh, the counterplay?
But 𝘀𝗀 has arrived. Oh no, the spinning wheel of death is here. He's going to charge on in. Does he have access to the collateral damage?
Ooh.
He does. The unstoppable force followed up with the big grave shell. But here is 𝘁𝗁𝗁 coming in on top.
You're stunned
Can they get
forever.
over to 𝘀𝗀? They absolutely can. Oh boy, it's an absolute bloodbath. Pun trying to run. No chance. It's a double kill for 𝘁𝗁. And 𝘂𝗀 is just left to pick up the pieces.
𝘁𝗀 back to farming. Of course, 𝘂𝗀 only stops to get a kill or two for his teammates because they complain. He wants to farm all the time. Up to level 9. This point could have been a little bit higher. Yeah, chem tank done. I'm interested to see where he wants to go from here. Full tank or maybe a little bit of damage here and there. Could go AP because this Phoenix actually scales quite well. They toned it down a slight bit. I think there was a very prominent preseason build where we went almost full AP 𝘂𝗀 and had something like 400 initial damage on the maxed out R, of course, Phoenix. So let's take a look at this.
There's one really important detail. Watch how 𝘁𝗁 arrives to this fight. When it happens. Watch how 𝘁𝗁 arrives. The teleport's coming. Yep. And watch 𝘁𝗁. He presses E.
It's not... And from... Oh, there we go. Ah. Wow, that's very impressive. It took him so long to actually arrive. I didn't actually know what you were talking about, but of course, yeah. He just followed up with the E. That's the thing 𝘁𝗁 can do. Just jumping over the whole map and arriving there without investing his own teleport. So that also means teleport available now for side lane play for 𝘁𝗁. And that's very hard to defend against because 𝘁𝗁's sitting on 2 kills with a Rift Maker early, so no one can really stand up to him. 𝘂𝗀 can't answer his push. Pun can't answer, but maybe 𝘁𝗁 can help his
They're going to go in on 𝘁𝗁, but he does manage to get away. The Gale Force being used to escape. The redemption from that Zoe, not able to snipe anything, but it will get some tower damage for Cerberus. Over on the other side of the map, there was a second Rift Herald picked up by SGB. They continue to be in a very good position. And Cerberus seem to be floundering a little bit to find a response.
Yeah, Cerberus is a little bit slow on some of the plays. A little bit unfortunate as well. Very close to picking up another kill. This could be 2 mid lanes here. They are just way out of position. Pun, too far away, and even if he ults in here, I'm not sure if he can clear all the minions. He is zoned away. Nice rotation there from 𝘁𝗁𝗵𝗶𝗹𝗀.
They're going to try and kill him.
He has ult though.
Can they block the ult? No, they can't get in front of him. So he does manage to ult over the wall. So it's a 𝘁𝗁 ult for the 𝘁𝗁 ult. If you stand in front of him,
no.
Don't you? He hits
No.
you.
𝘁𝗁 ults goes where it wants to go.
Oh, true, yeah, true.
It's not Sion ult. 𝘁𝗁 ults can ignore targets in the middle. Pretty sure you can't block 𝘁𝗁 ults. He just ults wherever he wants. But it's still...
He is an unstoppable force. That's 3 towers, by the way.
3 towers, indeed, for 𝘁𝗁𝗵𝗶𝗹. 2 in the mid lane, so opening up the whole jungle. And that's so annoying for 𝘀𝗀, because 𝘁𝗀 on the 𝘂𝗀 is such a big threat. The Graves can't really do anything against him. So 𝘁𝗀 can just perma-invade now. He's super fast, he's annoying to deal with. You can't kill him because he's tanky. And he's just going to take away camp after camp after camp after camp.
Yeah, that is getting a little bit scary now. He has now 1100 game lead, 1100 game lead, jeez. Gold lead on the 𝘂𝗀 over this Graves. It's going to be really hard for 𝘀𝗀 to keep anything going.
Yeah,
I'm
𝘁𝗀's
getting really
5th
worried
game.
that we're about to have Froglister 100% win rate.
It's possible. The game is still far from over, especially
Of
when you
course.
look at Froggy. He hasn't really done anything in this game. He's building towards split pushing, while most of the game and the last game was about... Oh, never mind. 𝘁𝗀 flashing in, but that wasn't very successful.
Oh, yeah. That was 𝘂𝗀, but they are going to try and keep it going. Alrighty, dealing quite a lot of
𝘁𝗁
damage.
from the flank.
Can BJ
Ooh.
find another way in. Oh, that's a huge taunt, but Artemis is in a corridor. Can he charge up that style meter? He needs one more. There it is. He's using the haha circle. They need to kill 𝘁𝗁. He goes gold, but he's incredibly low. As soon as he comes out, no, they can't finish him off. Artemis will go down. 𝘁𝗁 gets a constellation kill, but it's all SGB.
Yeah, and that's a really big step towards game 3 here. 𝘁𝗁𝗵𝗶𝗹 winning the fight, even though 𝘁𝗀 flashed into nothing with his flash bear slap attempt, but didn't hit anyone. Good follow-up from 𝘁𝗁, a lot of zone control, and a little bit of luck there as well. 𝘁𝗁 staying alive on 2 HP for such a long time. Artemis not quite able to finish him off. I think he's not quite on level 11. That's a huge power spike for Sabira. Yeah, level 10. That's such a big problem. I think if Artemis is level 11 here, they might be able to win the fight.
Yeah, probably.
𝘁𝗏 with a very good flank attempt, and that was amazing from 𝘁𝗏, hitting a perfect taunt. Look at Artemis. He triggers ult, and just doesn't deal any damage.
Honestly, something I noticed is 𝘀𝗀 was horribly ineffective that fight. He hits that one paddle star at the end, and that was it.
Yeah, and even the very last
missed
one,
the first two.
the one that faded out, didn't hit either. That's 𝘀𝗀. 𝘀𝗀 can be the most amazing team fighter and the most useless champion in team fights at the same time. If she doesn't hit her skill shots, she's just useless. Even with a 2-1 lead, even with a lot of penetration here, probably able to one-shot almost everyone on the other team. If she doesn't hit anything, there are no one-shots to be had.
Yeah. So 𝘀𝗀 just not dealing any damage that fight, and any damage would have changed the break points for the Artemis ult there, so a real shame. Cerberus now 5,000 gold down here at 19 minutes, and this is beginning to be a real problem. There is a bear in the jungle. How do they stop this bear and the ninja? I don't know if they have the tools.
Yeah, it's very hard to see a way back into this game. Of course, there's a lot of wombo potential with Pan and Artemis following up. Oh, nice steal from 𝘀𝗀. That's decent.
Well done.
Not letting 𝘁𝗀 get ahead too far, but it's still 20 seconds to Baron, 3 minutes to Cloud Soul. I'm not actually sure if Cerberus wants to do anything with the Cloud Soul. I think this might be a game where you just give up Soul and wait for an Elder Dragon, and maybe at Elder Dragon you're strong enough to take another fight. Artemis needs to get some more items under his belt.
Yeah, he really needs his
At least he hit level 11 now, so his ultimate can actually deal some damage. The difference between level 6 and level 11 ult is quite severe on this champion, so I think if he were level 11, if he was level 11 in the last fight, the fight could have gone another way, a different way. I'm not sure if they are still in a position to do that, because now the gold lead is 5k, as you alluded to earlier. 𝘀𝗀 needs to be careful, flashes away.
Yeah, he's very caught out. I think I'm a little bit out of sync. I'm going to have to fix that up, as that just happened on my screen. Good night, guys. As 𝘁𝗀 charging on forward, does a lot of damage to 𝘁𝗏. The Fate's Call actually misses. 𝘁𝗏 manages to dodge away from the Solar Flare. 𝘀𝗀 ineffective once again. Pan dives in, but it's 𝘁𝗏 in the backline causing so much problems. And there is the kills. Pan going low. That'll be the second one. 𝘁𝗏 benefits from it. 𝘁𝗏 charging in, but he can't deal any real damage. Ooh, 𝘁𝗏 might have gone a little bit too deep. He might pay the price, and he does. And now Artemis is locked and loaded, gets in the circle, and that's a huge mistake from the bot lane of SGB.
Too far forward. They give a double kill over to Artemis. It looked so good once again for SGB. Could have potentially even been Baron if they called off the play and just kited towards Baron. Instead, now Artemis back in the game. 2 kills picked up for him, 2 items picked up. He's going to work on a 3rd item with a nice 600 gold shutdown on the 2nd kill there. That's a huge way toward the very strong stage. And Artemis is a very good player. He's on today. He is playing out of his mind in almost every single engage. So I think he might be the one to carry Cerberus to a 2-0 victory, even from behind.
I mean, Artemis, when he's on, is a force to be reckoned with. Those of you that maybe are a bit new to the VCS, believe you me, he is terrifying. So let's see how this went so right and then so wrong.
Yeah, 𝘀𝗏 with a very good initial kiting, getting a lot of attention from the enemy team, but cleansing and flashing away to not die to the initial effort. And Artemis not able to stack up his passive. Look at him. I was waiting for big ult because he was in the fight for so long, but only at 3 stacks of his passive at this point. Now he finally gets to full. And S rank comes in, and there's a very easy kill. Still could be a little bit more damage. I think one more item, and that looks way easier for him. 2 kills picked up. And now Cerberus 5k gold behind still, but in a little bit of a better position. No summoner spells for 𝘀𝗏, so he might be a good target to go for.
Certainly could be. 𝘀𝗀 having a fish. 𝘀𝗀 has slowed down in her effectiveness here. 𝘀𝗀 needs to get back on the mark with the paddle stars and with the bubbles, because he's been missing some crucial ones. in the last few team fights.
Yeah, to be fair to him, the last one was dodged by the 𝘀𝗶𝗹𝗀𝗀's Reverie, which is now picked up by 𝘀𝗀. That's very helpful for his team, because they can just activate that to run away from the scary 𝘀𝗀𝗀𝗀. Running at them. 𝘀𝗀 back with
Cloud
Flash, so
Soul
Flash bear
on
slap.
the map. There's the 𝘀𝗀𝗀𝗀s. 𝘁𝗀 is zoning out punt. It's a huge taunt out of 𝘁𝗀𝗃. There is the knock in. Oh, it's all going right. But 𝘀𝗀 is locked and loaded. Can he get those circles going? He's already used one. He's charging up to another S rank. Can he get it off before he dies? Trying to lifesteal up. This was a bloody fight. It looked so good for SGB at first, but it seems to be Cerberus with the health bar lead now. Variety clearing the way, trying to lifesteal. 𝘀𝗀𝗃 still mostly healthy, but split from his team. This is very close. 𝘀𝗀 has 0 mana. He can't do anything in this fight. 𝘀𝗀's trying to catch up to Husband,
𝘀𝗀's got a kill.
Not have the style needed. Oh dear, that's the kill coming in. Oh no, it's all turned. Cerberus were in the lead in this fight, but they throw it away with poor positioning.
Yeah, way too aggressive for Artemis. He was feeling himself way too much there in this fight. Not quite strong enough to sustain through all the bursts, especially from 𝘁𝗃. Even though 𝘁𝗃 has had no ultimate at the end of the fight there. That was just a little too deep, and now that's the free Cloud Soul for 𝘀𝗰𝗵𝗋. They don't have the time to actually get the Baron on top of that, so just the Cloud Soul for now, but back to 6k gold lead. And, well, Artemis used all his summoner spells, so now for the next 4.5 minutes, he's going to have a very hard time staying alive against all the threats on the other side.
Yeah, that's an understatement. Tamira just not able to deal quite enough damage there. It was so close. I really thought Cerberus had managed to weather the storm of the 𝘀𝗰𝗵𝗋𝗀 engage, but I just don't understand why they thought they could go in on that 𝘁𝗃𝗃. 𝘀𝗀 had 0 mana. He couldn't contribute to the fight. And Artifact made a bad call. Yeah,
Artemis trying the 1v1 against full HP 𝘁𝗃. Really not the greatest call ever. He's going to learn from this mistake. Well, it might be too late for this game. He might have to repeat this attempt in the next game, which would be very annoying for Cerberus, because the way 𝘀𝗰𝗵𝗋𝗀 plays right now is very volatile. It's very hard to predict yourself winning against this team every single time. So they would really like to get it over with here and not fall prey to some weird early game invade tactic or something else from 𝘀𝗰𝗵𝗋𝗀's side, because they're playing a very scrappy, early game focused skirmishy style today. That's just super annoying to deal with.
It looks like we're going to be locked and loaded pretty soon for another fight, as both teams are having a look at Baron. 𝘀𝗀 hitting a bubble, but no real follow-up on that one. But look who's lurking. 𝘁𝗃 enters straight into the back line. The Galio coming in straight on top. That is Ron OP with absolutely no chance to do much of anything. Drops a Solar Flare. Might just be enough, but 𝘀𝗃 is on the run. Artemis got tagged by the 𝘁𝗃𝗃. Has to charge up the style. Does manage to do it. Spending all of those circles. Can he kill onto one? He does. Now 𝘀𝗀, he'll be taken down. It's Pun and Artemis against the world, and it's about to just be Artemis. And this looks like a triple kill for Variety. This should be Baron, and SGB want to take us to game 3.
Yeah, SGB very close to securing the 3rd game in the series. And they came back after a very weak game 1 performance as well, in the last time against Team Secret. Remember, after game 1, I made the infamous tweet, 24 minutes they get stomped there. And now, once again, 𝘀𝗰𝗵𝗋𝗀 getting stronger and stronger the longer the game goes on. I'm super impressed with all the rookies. We talked at the beginning of the show today about the rookie class of 2021. Variety, 𝘁𝗃𝗃, 𝘁𝗃 continue to show up with a nice support from 𝘁𝗃, getting flank after flank after flank. Perfect execution onto Artemis, into the backline. And now this game almost looks done and dusted. I mean, there might be one more chance, but look at this 𝘁𝗃 engage again. 𝘁𝗃 immediately following up as well. Ron OP is dead at this point already. He doesn't know it, but he is dead for sure. And 𝘁𝗃 getting another E-flip on Artemis, another kill on 𝘀𝗃 in a matter of seconds here. I guess Variety picks it up in the end. Pun has to get away. He's not the tank they were looking for. He has to run away from all the fights. He still dies in the end. Pretty bad positioning for Pun.
I think there's one more team fight, because the stopwatches made a big difference there. And obviously 𝘁𝗃 will still have his hits as Zhonya's. 𝘀𝗀𝗃 won't. 𝘀𝗀𝗃 just dies there next time.
Yeah, and Artemis should be on his 3-item power spike with the IE finished. If they can get him to level 16, that would be perfect. Another skill, another rank, I should say, in the ultimate ability would go a long way for the snowball
Flare was thrown
potential.
out there and it didn't catch on to 𝘀𝗀𝗋. 𝘁𝗋 looks a little bit shook. That's the siege in the mid lane. Going well for the Buffalo.
Yeah, it's really hard to say what 𝘀𝗋's role is in these team fights. I think he's probably just going to play bodyguard for Artemis on the next one, because all the engages have been thwarted by the super tanky frontliners and just the amount of damage from SGB. So far the engage Leona not paying off, so I think it's probably going to be Kite Leona, but 𝘁𝗃, where are you going,
𝘁𝗃
𝘁𝗃?
flies on in. Artemis trying to kite away with the dash. Will get away from the 𝘀𝗋𝗋 as well, but it's all crashing on in. Oh boy, Pun is just instantly dead. Didn't get much done with the ultimate at all. Artemis needs one more hit on the style meter, but he can't get it. This should just be game. Only 2 members of Cerberus left. But with no minions, can they actually end? Maybe not. Maybe
They have another wave
Cerberus
here.
gets one more chance.
I don't think so. They have a wave here.
so.
Teleport to keep the backdoor bonus away, and now that's
Yeah.
just Artemis. Artemis has to do it all.
Well, there is a catch out. He's going to try and dive on over there. He does pick up 1 kill, but he's got to get another 4 very, very quickly. He's going to spin, but he's not going to win. He only gets 1, and it will be 𝘀𝗰𝗶𝗹𝗀 ensuring that my sleep schedule is utterly, utterly ruined. We crest 3 a.m., and we're just about to go to Game 3. This is truly, as I just mute my mic by slapping it, what a god. And this is truly the most typical night of the VCS we've had in a very long time. We hope you are enjoying the show here on VCS English, and we will be back in just a few minutes to bring you Game 3. Yeah,
No.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Hello, everyone. I don't know how much of that you heard. Production, doing really good. Welcome back. It is perhaps our final game of this
No,
first
it's
week
the
of
last
VCS
game.
being.
It's the last game.
But
It's a
will
best
the game
of
start,
3.
Vinny?
It's
But
a
will
best
the
of 3.
game start, Vinny? You never know. We've taken the risk of going live before VETV's timer is done. And truly, we are tempting the most dark and wondrous of magics, the VETV sap.
Like
But
the rule of VCS, it hasn't begun until the Nexus explodes.
remember, it is currently 2:30 a.m. for me and Vinny, so you are truly here for VCS English after dark. Because we have lost it.
It's
But
even getting
Vinny, I
dark
wanna
over
get your
here, so...
thoughts. Vinny, I want to get your thoughts on Game 2. Tell us, what did you think?
𝘁𝗃 basically solo carried that. I mean, it's not like it was 1v9. His team were mostly pulling their weight, but 𝘁𝗃 was always able to find impeccable flanks, get straight into the back line, cause so much damage that either like Yado and Artemis were already dead, or they had to blow all their summoners, all their defensive tools just to get out. And that meant they couldn't actually commit any damage to the fight. Pun also had a really bad game of the Mao fight. 𝘀𝗋 not looking his best on Leona. But really, it was just 𝘁𝗃 doing so much work for his team. And then just they were able to roll over most of those team fights. And I don't know how he found half those flanks, but he did. And they couldn't stop him once he did.
Yeah, he was amazing. He got a free lane. You should never give 𝘁𝗃 a free lane with 𝘁𝗃, because his 𝘁𝗃 is known. He's the best 𝘁𝗃 player in the region, and he once again showed us why. I think Cerberus had some opportunities to win the game, but fumbled a few too many times, mispositioned a few too many times, and now 𝘀𝗰𝗶𝗹𝗀 still with a chance to get to first place with a 2-0 start.
That will be terrifying.
That would truly be very, very unexpected. We are hopefully going to get a chance like soon, but what needs to change for Cerberus to get over the line? Yulwei, you mentioned that 𝘀𝗰𝗶𝗹𝗀 play a ridiculously volatile style. It's not even a coin flip style. They're playing Dungeons and Dragons and hoping they roll nat 20s. Like, at this point, their coach is just a bloody dungeon master.
They're dialogue,
not the fun kind. So, Vinnie, what do you think Cerberus can do to actually absorb that energy and be able to fight back?
So, I guess just like what has to happen every split, people forget about 𝘁𝗻𝗁 𝘀𝗀. You can ban that now. Ban that. That should be
still good. We just needed to test it.
Yeah, it still works. So we banned that. That's a good start because I think without 𝘁𝗻𝗁 doing absolutely ridiculous things that no 𝘁𝗁 players should even be remotely allowed to do, that game is on a much more even footing. They can probably fight the way back. Artemis was starting to get very strong with the Samira, so that's where you start. Yeah, I think that's where you start. Everything else, your draft has been good for the most part. Just clean up those players. Get 𝘁𝗁 on something he's super comfortable on, like Bard or the Thresh if you can.
Yeah, I think the engage...
heading into the draft.
How to engage is what Cerberus needs to work on most for the next game. Because it has been a little bit of a problem for them.
Yeah. It certainly has. We are into draft. Cerberus will be returning to the blue side, where they did find success. Galio will be banned. I actually like that. 𝘁𝗀 had a huge impact on it. It was a linchpin of the 𝘀𝗰𝗶𝗹𝗀 comp. Froggy will be losing access to that 𝘁𝗀 again, and Pantheon and 𝘀𝗀 are removed by the Buffalo.
And here I think you just ban the 𝘁𝗁. Pick your wrong champion. The 𝘀𝗀 didn't do anything. I mean, well, it point and click stunned, but it wasn't the reason you lost. So if 𝘁𝗁 does end up going over to 𝘀𝗰𝗶𝗹𝗀, that's really good for them. But here, if you're Cerberus, you just take away the 𝘁𝗁. I think make Rarity sweat a little bit on something else. The Ashe was their go-to. I think Samira may have been banned in the first game, so we'll see what they actually end up going for. But because there's just so much available, but the 𝘁𝗁 is the safe one, so that's what they decided to go for.
Yep. Oh, it makes sense.
It does, but at the same time, I wouldn't have minded going back to 𝘁𝗀𝗀.
That's true as
Thresh
well.
is open. This is.
I don't think that's a first pick though, but
No, I don't think you first pick it. I think you first pick a jungler or maybe a top laner or something else. But that's the risk. You don't want them picking your Thresh away. They're actually just going to Thresh 𝘁𝗀𝗀. Okay. Throwing down the gauntlet. Anything you can do, I can do better.
That's scary from a Variety's perspective. But also, if he succeeds, he's going to be in contention for Player of the Week, I think. So, I mean, Variety really throwing down the gauntlet. I'm not sure if it's going to work into Artemis, because he had two very, very strong performances as well. And in lane, at least, I feel like 𝘁𝗁 has a little bit of an advantage over 𝘁𝗀𝗀 most of the time.
yeah, 𝘁𝗁 and Alistair are gonna also scale very well into that sort of dive buddy duo where they can go all in and just blow up the AD carry if they so choose. They've hovered the 𝘁𝗁, just reminding 𝘁𝗁 it's still there. But they decide to go for the Renekton. Pretty much wins every lane in the top side, so maybe that's gonna dissuade the 𝘁𝗁 pick because they don't want to take that into the matchup.
Well, 𝘁𝗁 can survive the lane into Renekton, especially 𝘁𝗁 𝘁𝗁. I wouldn't be surprised to see him go for it again. Oh, I'm very surprised to see them go for 𝘂𝗀 for 𝘁𝗁. traditionally,
always 𝘁𝗃's lazy pick.
yeah,
right?
traditionally it hasn't worked well for 𝘁𝗰𝗶𝗹𝗀. They went for Ornn for 𝘁𝗃 because he's the main carry of the team. He has a lot of faith in his bot lane, and I think after the performances in the last 3 days, probably justifiably so. But now 𝘁𝗍𝗀 is really... 𝘁𝗍𝗀 needs to show us that he has the potential to become the next big ADC star with the best player on the team on the Ornn.
Yeah, I mean, like, and I'm cool. I'm keen for that because you know what? I'll own up. I'll eat crow. I talked shit about 𝘁𝗍𝗀. I said he wasn't very good, and he wasn't very good in the promo tournament. He was okay, but you know what? Dude has stepped up where it matters, and he has been really, really good this week. If he's going to prove himself, I'll be happy to eat crow and join the new 𝘁𝗍𝗀 cult. But he's got to prove it this game.
Yeah, and ADC looking pretty stacked this split, apart from Shine, with even 𝘀 showing up, 𝘁𝗍𝗀 now coming into his own, Artemis on top form, Slater looked a little rough, but Celebrity looked okay, so I'm excited for the ADC position overall for this split, because if 𝘁𝗍𝗀 and 𝘀 can grow into strong contenders, then it's a super stacked position.
Yeah, well now we're reaching Levi's worst nightmare with 3 targeted bans at AP junglers. So, not going to be a 4th one. So, there's still options if they want to go that route in like the Gragas. But I think we're just going to see more standard jungles. Actually, I don't even know what's
Ivan
really
time.
left. And
It's
there's
Ivan
not a
time.
top-tier jungle. Ivan
We
time.
are not getting Ivan in the VCS. It is never happening, Yulwei.
Would be a prime
It's
opportunity to pick
never
him up, though.
happening.
We're probably just going to have to see something like at least in versus Gragas in the jungle, because there's not a lot left to work with. Gonna have to see what the choice is for Yado. Zoe is of course still available. The Syndra is available if they want to go for something like that. There's the Syndra.
I like how they just hovered Gragas for 30 seconds, then decided to go Syndra and have another 30 seconds to hover Gragas. What?
See,
I mean, his
No.
splash out's really nice. Look how happy he looks.
Yeah,
He's
it's
like,
true.
"Yeah."
look, it's good.
Oh, no, no,
'cause
no.
that
Oh,
means
my. Oh, God.
less swaps. There's less swaps to go on. That's a lot of choosing.
That's a 𝘁𝗀𝗀.
Oh, no.
Oh, baby.
They're gonna give him the cane. Okay.
Oh, no.
Let's
𝘁𝗀,
hope he
okay.
does not look at Levi bots for
But,
learning.
hey,
Okay.
remember, 𝘁𝗀 in the promo tournament picked like 4 games of Kane, and the
Yeah.
dude was smurfing.
Yeah,
Now,
you know why? Kane was broken.
Was giga broken. Kane was giga broken. He's been nerfed about 4 times since, but he can definitely play the champ.
Is Kane actually a good jungler right now? I haven't seen him since the nerfs once in my
I don't
games.
know.
I don't even know.
It's Kane. I saw him one game where he ganked my top laner 12 times and got 12 kills, and then he went blue and lost.
Ah, yeah, they're the classic.
Yeah,
Doing
but
good.
after 7
it's a
jungle
loss.
bans plus the Gragas pick away, you're kind of running out of options.
Are
So
you?
you're going to default back to comfort. I would have liked to see at least Sin over a Kane, because in terms of comfort picks, but we get a Kane, I guess.
I guess. I mean,
We
Kane,
get a
if
Kane, I
he
guess.
can get through the early game, then Kane is a good pick, of course, always has been. But the problem is, so far in the series, the early game has been 𝘁𝗰𝗶𝗹𝗀's strongest point, right? They've dominated
Yep.
the first 2 early games, or the 2 early games so far. I'm not sure if it's the correct approach to go full into late game scaling. Look at the team composition. It's late game on every single champion. All these champions want to go to the late game and team fight later on, while Cerberus has a more well-rounded, balanced composition, mostly spiking mid game on 1-2 items, so I'm a little scared for 𝘁𝗰𝗶𝗹𝗀. They need to show us that they can also play the late game style.
Yeah, we'll have to see. Vinny, give us your final words.
Yulwei raises an excellent point about SGB really relying on that early game snowball to be their main win condition. So this is going to be a very different look. And at the risk of sounding wrong again, Cerberus, come on. They probably have this one.
There's a third Cerberus prediction in a row. And let's see if it comes through this time. Or if your strike rate will continue to get even worse, Vinny.
I would like
so
some
it's
points.
A Conqueror Kane.
I would like some points for
Conqueror
today.
Kane.
Yeah, I think that's pretty usual.
Yeah, well,
Definitely
it means he's going
indicating red.
It means he's going red.
Yeah, I think no one is going to go blue in competitive. That's just straight up grief. I mean, maybe PHT.
Levi went blue.
Yeah, fair enough. Levi is. Sometimes Levi and PHT aren't too far apart. For different reasons. For different reasons, okay? But yeah. Well, Levi likes to troll every now and then. I think this red Kane will have a little bit of an easier time because the enemy... Well, okay, Hasmid, you do you. He just stood there.
What did I just see?
I'm not sure. He just... What? That was so weird.
What did I do? He just wiggled his butt a little bit.
Yeah, I think he knew he was on camera, so he wanted to look cool, I guess. Hasmid is known for all his different hair colors and hairstyles, so I guess he just wants to look cool. And to be honest, with On in the early game into Renekton, you're just waiting for the lane for the wave to hit your turret anyway, so probably didn't lose much.
Yeah, I guess. It doesn't really matter. I suppose that's why he even bothered giving a leash at all. Because normally Kane doesn't want a leash, you just start Raptors.
Yeah, that's true.
But I think it was just, well, you are just waiting for it to hit your tower anyway. So who cares?
Even more confusing, though, that he didn't go for the usual on start, which is, of course, refillable into then Duran's shield later on. Instead, he started Duran's shield. So now only sitting on one consumable, one pot. That's... I don't know why. That doesn't really make sense to me. I guess he didn't want to risk an early trade. It can be quite scary to go into lane with no combat stats whatsoever into Renekton. Especially in solo queue. Always keep an eye on enemy team solo queue top laners summoner spells. Because if you do that with On and solo queue against an Ignite Renekton... it's scary.
Done.
It's very scary.
He's killing you. Yeah, he's killing you. Don't do it against any Ivan tops as well. Those auto attacks, they hurt. As Fook is contesting this 𝘁𝗶𝗹𝗀 here. His mid laner did TP to a river ward, so this should be an easy 𝘁𝗶𝗃𝗀 for the big boy Gragas.
Yeah, and mid lane seems to be a war of attrition here. Both mid lane is already based and went back to refill their pots. Constant trading of spells. So far, Yado getting the better of most of the trades here. It's a pretty even matchup between Orianna and Syndra, and can go either way. Syndra with a little bit more kill pressure, usually. Orianna can get the better in terms of push, so it's for mid laners, this matchup. It's not super interesting for everyone else.
Husband giving a bit of a smack there to Pun. Very far ahead on health. That's a good position to be in against the Renekton. And Kane is coming up. There's the Brittle proc. This should be a dead croc. It's a solo kill as well.
Yeah, BJ doesn't even get anything. At least he gets to tax the wave. You are a few seconds behind,
orbs.
though.
Oh, am I? Oh,
yeah.
No orbs, though, as well. That's actually pretty bad for the game.
That's true. I think Hasmid could have given this over. Because Hasmid is a very selfish player, though. And 𝘁𝗶𝗃 trying to go for the very famous flash W into tower. Not quite able to make it work. 𝘁𝗏 didn't even have to flash. So 𝘁𝗶𝗃 just blowing his flash. Not the greatest play ever. Did look a little bit lost there. 5 minutes is now, by the way. 5-1.
Okay, I'm a couple of seconds ahead of you. You'll probably sync back up. I'm at 6, 7.
Yeah, you're 1 second ahead. I think that's... we can probably roll with that.
Yeah, let's just roll with it.
Play-by-play from the future. Ooh.
I really need a new PC. Computers are expensive, though. I can't pay rent. Husmed, going back to farming, he is down in CS, but of course did pick up that kill and has a Kane lurking again, but we're going to go look at the bottom lane instead. Kane did back off, so it doesn't actually matter.
𝘁𝗶𝗃 no flash.
Some damage. There's the Graviton proc, but 𝘁𝗶𝗃 was just a little bit too far back.
That was very confusing to me from 𝘁𝗏𝗃. Why did he wait so long for the purple gun proc?
Very good question.
You could have stunned him way earlier. That was very puzzling. I had no idea. Maybe he thought he could flash for the last hit or something. Yeah, confusing. But they win the lane anyway, the trade. Nothing happened in top lane, not sure why. Pun flashed away, it looks like. Something like that. I'm not sure. So nothing came from the top lane gank. 𝘀𝗀 somehow got away, but 𝘁𝗃 still far ahead. Not so much an experience, interestingly enough, because 𝘁𝗀 still a little bit of the early lane experience there. Still ahead in gold though, and with full control of this top lane. And when On is in full control against Renekton in top lane, it's not a good sign.
No, it's really not. 𝘀𝗀 having a wander down here, just checking for the vision around the bot side. Does spot out one ward, but it is controlled. Spotted by the 𝘀𝗶𝗶𝗹𝗀. They will contest over. 𝘁𝗀 actually a level head. Does have access to that Umbral Trespass.
Stealing some minions in the top lane really paid off for him.
It really did. But let's see if they can actually make something happen. The Lantern is there because the Predator's popped, but 𝘁𝗀 is very, very safe. He is Kayn. Does actually use the wall walk. A lot of damage going in. He pops inside of Yado. Can he finish him up? He should be able to. There it is. The mid laner goes down, and this is looking good for SGB. Chasing in onto 𝘁𝗀. He's a big boy, but he's got those hams, and he can't run quick enough. It's all SGB. They pick up 2 kills and a Cloud Drake. And up in the top side, 𝘁𝗃 just solo killed 𝘀𝗀.
What is Cerberus doing? They look like they're perma-tilted. What is happening? They are fumbling every single play, every approach. What was 𝘁𝗀 doing, overextending so far into the play when he had no flash? Level 4 Alistar, actually with Aftershock. So what happened here? Good stun out of the teleport.
This was so dumb.
I mean, he basically traded his life for... I'm not sure what. Yeah, maybe he thought the teleport
would... 𝘁𝗃 arriving...
Yeah. He was really scared. I guess the team got very, very scared and panicked. Okay, 𝘁𝗀 looking for another engage. This time forcing the flash, but 𝘁𝗀
actually lands that hook there. Artemis has to run. He has no chance. Will trade one back though, and with the shield flashing over the wall, alright, he will not be able to secure that kill. Now 𝘁𝗀 giving that Aphelios a little bit of a tussle. And that's one fight back there for Cerberus.
Yeah, much needed respite for the bot lane of Cerberus. Maybe their chance back into the game. The best player on the Rift for the last 2 games combined has been Artemis. So we kill to him is super important. And 𝘁𝗀 trying to go for another solo kill. He has another stun.
He's about to kill 𝘁𝗀, I think. Is he going to burn down? No, he's not going to continue on. It was only about 1 auto.
Yeah, I think he could have gotten that.
Yeah, I think he could have committed. I guess he was a bit scared of the red gun healing.
But look at 𝘁𝗀's positioning. 𝘁𝗀 arrived in mid lane. So if 𝘁𝗀 ran down bot lane, 𝘁𝗀 would have been there for the commitment. So it's actually very smart backup from 𝘁𝗀, trying to anticipate 𝘁𝗀's movement. 𝘁𝗀 went to mid lane instead, but if he went to bot lane, could have been a turnaround on 𝘁𝗀. So better safe than sorry. Looked like 𝘁𝗀 missed an opportunity there, but I actually like this call. Just get a lot of pressure on 𝘁𝗀, force him to stay longer in the lane, and get a very nice recall timing for Artemis, who's now in full control of bot lane.
Ooh, 𝘀𝗀 is getting pressured once again by Kanye. Flying on in, wants to show him his latest album, but unfortunately this time it is just all gospel music, so it doesn't really go anywhere.
He gets a lot of orbs though. That's nice.
That was a good joke. He does get a lot of orbs, and they're just going to go round 2 because 𝘀𝗀 is just having a shocking game. 𝘁𝗀 diving forward, trying to get something done, but can 𝘀𝗀 get in range?
Oh,
don't think
flash.
so, not with the flash.
Yeah, so just to throw up my document for this series. Oh, no time for that. There's
no,
you
dive. Did not have time, as Artemis is in a lot of trouble. Uses that killer instinct to try and turn it around, but gets one. Yado will trade it back, but that does cost it his teleport.
Well, close enough, 1 for 1. But in the end, teleport invested, so stronger bot lane play. 𝘁𝗀 both lane looking really strong. But the top lane fight. The top lane fight between the former and current SGB top laner. Of course, both very young prodigies coming into the league 2 years ago, and 𝘁𝗀 coming into the league when he turned 17 in summer somewhere. And then 𝘀𝗀 was the backup for 𝘁𝗀. I think he was eligible to play halfway through the split, and a lot of people thought 𝘀𝗀 would replace 𝘁𝗀. Instead, 𝘁𝗀 always came out ahead between the two of them, and it looks like once again 𝘁𝗀 is showing to be the better top laner today.
Do you not remember? We'll watch the replay here. This is why did 𝘀𝗀 This is just bad timing.
Yeah, there's absolutely no reason for him to go back to the tower. That's just bad play. That's just bad read. It's
shocking. It's just really bad. It's just basic stuff going wrong. The bot lane play is a little bit more interesting. I'm not 100% sure how this one started off. It was just a good hook from 𝘁𝗀cie.
𝘁𝗀cie.
Not the best play, but
I mean, the flay hit, so it looked a little weird, but the flay actually hit. So I think that's just a graphical thing there. 𝘁𝗀cie with a few more levels and a little bit more lifesteal on his lifesteal gun. Could have been able to kite that out, but yeah, a little bit too early for the 𝘁𝗄lius. Nowadays, 𝘁𝗄lius 𝘂𝗏 gun has like 3% lifesteal at the start, so that's not enough to escape 𝘂𝗏 there. Still good play from 𝘁𝗀cie.
I mean, it's still a positive trade.
Absolutely.
They get the Syndra teleport. It's a 1-for-1. You're not complaining about that. Your 𝘂𝗁ius is now even with the Kai'Sa, a tiny bit ahead, but that's a good situation for him to be in. And it really looks like the wheels have fallen off the Cerberus wagon. I was going to say, you were talking about Pun. You know, this guy was hyped up because at the time, 𝘂ros was still considered the best top laner in the league. He was still on Garm. I remember him being hyped up. This guy is so good, you know. He smashes 𝘂ros in solo queue every time they play each other. He's so good. He's the 𝘂ros killer. He came in, picked Jax, and went like 0-7.
Yeah, he was horrible in all his games. I think he only played 2 games the split. He started and looked really bad in both. And then he never really got to be the starting top laner. Now finally got all the... everyone is trusting him, all the trust from Cerberus. LL was still the main top laner last split, but Pun had some very good performances, and now he seems to be the starter. LL on the way out. He's a very old player for the VCS. So it's good to see the trust in Pun and the new prospect. I think he's still 17 or maybe 18 now. It's a very young top lane matchup. So far, 𝘁𝗏 is still schooling him though in this matchup. 𝘁𝗏 on the tank, into Renekton, and absolutely dominating the lane.
And it's a disaster. Like, we know how Renekton works. If he's not ahead, he's not in the game. And it's the completed Sunfire Aegis and 𝘀𝗶𝗹𝗀 to the Iron Spike Whip. Yeah. And I hope that Pun is into some flagellation, because that's all that whip is going to be used for.
Okay.
Do you know what that means?
Roughly. I don't want to discuss it though.
It's not bad. It's just a thing monks used to do.
Fair enough.
It's a religious thing, but BJ zooping into the top lane here is in that Rast form, and they're gonna take down this crocodile. 𝘁𝗏ie arrives to steal the kill.
Yeah, he just got the transformation, I believe, not long ago. So that's the first thing he did as Red Kayn, and he's looking super strong. 2-0 on his comfort pick. We criticized him. I especially was very, very critical and very skeptical of this pick, but he's looking very strong. Got a free early game, got a lot of farm, and free red orbs from top lane. Just went top lane over and over again to farm his orbs. Paid off. Now is in this very strong position. Level 10, Conqueror, and of course the early 𝘁𝗀drinker as well. So it's looking super good for 𝘁𝗀𝗏𝗶𝗹.
What's your opinion on the 𝘁𝗀drinker naming controversy? Do you think it's a stupid name?
Well, no, I think that's fine.
I like it.
Yeah, I think it's fine.
Like it.
Oh, good flash from 𝘁𝗀ie.
Oh, fantastic play out of 𝘁𝗀ie. Completely neuters that play.
Yeah, that was the timing couldn't have been any more perfect. He just flashed when the W animation was already running. So Unofficial actually ended up charging past him because he flashed over him. They're very cool.
Ole! Just gave him the Toro.
Needs some red towel or something.
I love it. Absolutely mastered that bull there. This is just SGB. Look at this.
Cerberus is
Cerberus
desperate.
can do is working. Their mental is shot. Oh, a hook onto a minion out of 𝘁𝗀ie might be the only thing that saves 𝘁𝗀's life, but nope, 𝘁𝗀 will go down anyway. Fat burns.
We praised him
well.
again. We praised him again. Oh no. Sorry, 𝘁𝗀ie. Sorry. Oh man, today is the day of caster curses, one after the other. But 𝘀cie still gets the kill for his team, so everything is fine. And 𝘁𝗀𝗀 is so strong, he can probably just go to a solo lane and kill every solo lane on the other side. Maybe Syndra is going to be difficult, but even then, look at Syndra's items. Yeah,
you can Kayn ult the Syndra ult.
Yeah, and Syndra doesn't even have a finished item yet. Going towards 𝘯𝗀𝗆's again. What is up with all the 𝘯𝗀𝗆's in VCS? What? Everyone is building 𝘯𝗀𝗆's.
They're worried about the 2 tanks, I guess.
Fair enough. It's a good item,
I don't know if
but
that
in
justifies
Syndra, I've never
it,
seen
but-
it on Syndra before. I guess you can go for it. It's a late game build here. They're stacking up the tier, going for 𝘯𝗀𝗆's. So he's going to need a lot of time till he hits this big power spike. 𝘀𝗀𝗆 trying
This is
to
the
get
mid lane
another
tower
one.
going down. 𝘀𝗀𝗆
Oh,
trying to make a play on the top
Froggy!
side. Oh, Froggy! The Frogster! He's here! And this is a dominating performance as... Oh, actually, it turns back around. I completely misread what was going on there as a righty got killed.
Yeah, right.
And that is at least something going back in Cerberus's favour.
Amazing shockwave from 𝘀𝗀𝗆 there, completely denying the play. That was almost a free kill for 𝘀𝗀𝗆. There was really nothing 𝘀𝗀𝗆 could do apart from timing his shockwave absolutely perfectly and positioning his ball perfectly as well to not die there. So I really like the performance from 𝘀𝗀𝗆, and 𝘁𝗀𝗏𝗋 still 3k gold ahead. Cerberus is not completely out of the game, but it looks way better, especially looking at the compositions. 𝘁𝗀𝗏𝗋 this time going for a late game or towards late game composition, but with a lot of early pressure and a lot of early kills from 𝘁𝗏𝗏, for example, for 𝘁𝗀𝗆, and now 𝘀𝗀𝗆 as well, coming in with 2 kills.
And this is the constant issue with Cerberus. Their mental frailty. There's something going on at the organization. They need like a sports psychologist or something, because this team always has had massive mental issues. Their players are good. You know, they went on that 10-0 run, and that was in series, if I'm not mistaken.
I think 6-0 in series, 10-0 in
6-0 in
games.
series. Sorry, yeah, that's actually correct, yeah. 6-0 in series wins. Like, it was insane. And then they lost once. That was it. They came 4th.
Yeah, then bumped out of playoffs again. So they didn't even finish 4th place, I believe. Or maybe barely 4th place, but they got, then EVOS came and just overthrew them. So for sure, there are some mental problems, maybe someone just tilts on the comms, no one understands anything anymore. I'm not sure, but Cerberus is very prone to tilting, and it's sad to see because the players have so much potential. When they're on, we can see them execute plays, nice macro moves, good mechanical plays, one after the other. But if they can't get rid of this problem, they can never be a top team.
God, Pun just done. This is just atrocious out of Pun. This is it's not even like a 𝘀𝗆𝗃 crocodile skin bag. It's like, you know, a 𝘀𝗆𝗃 one.
Yeah, one of those.
Costs $10 at a market.
Yeah. The crocodile skin. Yeah,
Yeah,
of course.
and it's actually like it's a turtle that's only like half dead. This is
even smells.
This Renekton doesn't exist.
Yeah. I mean, we've heard of the 4 or 5 champs that actually scale, but Renekton today, I think he lost the scales, so
Yeah.
no way for him to do anything in this game anymore. He needs to find a way to be a little bit less of a liability, because right now he's costing his team the game. He gave 𝘁𝗏𝗏 an insane lead. He gave 𝘁𝗀𝗆 all the orbs 𝘁𝗀𝗆 wanted to go for, without 𝘁𝗀𝗆 having to do any risky plays. Usually, Kayn's biggest problem in pro play is that he has to die. He has to int for his orbs. Not the case in this game. He was chilling. He was just going top lane again and again. Hello, Pun, can I have a few more orbs? Oh, yes, I can. Thank you. I'm going to come back in 2 minutes. It's just so sad to watch Pun falter this hard. And now Cerberus...
I mean, how can they lose though? 𝘁𝗏𝗆's walking on air. See how high up he was? If Alistair comes back on screen, he is levitating at the moment.
Maybe he needs to. Needs to find an engage from... Oh, what the... Where is he? Look at him. Oh, man. So right now, 𝘁𝗶𝗶𝗹𝘀 is content just doing nothing, letting the clock tick up, getting some passive gold, and just farming, upgrading items. We haven't seen an upgrade yet. Oh, it's actually our first on game together, I think. So an opportunity to learn all the names together. I think I've forgotten all of them again.
I thought you knew them. I thought
Yeah, I
you
knew them for a while. I still know 𝘁𝗔 and some of the others.
I know 2 of the ones.
𝘁𝗀, 𝘁𝗀 is the best one.
Deicide, yeah.
𝘁𝗀.
Yeah.
Do you know
Luden's
Luden's?
Tempest?
Yeah,
Luden's
Tempest.
Tempest.
Pulse to Tempest, right? No, it's Luden's
Yeah.
Eye, actually.
No. No, yeah, you're right.
Eye
It's
of
Luden's
Luden.
Eye.
Yeah, Eye of
Used
Luden.
to be Luden's Tempest.
Right. It's Eye of Luden.
Ooh, there's a teleport coming in on the top side here. They want to get on top of 𝘀𝗀𝗆. 𝘁𝗀𝗆 doing a good job buying space, but he is going to be the sacrificial cow. They've sent him to a farm upstate. And don't tell little Timmy why Alistair's not coming home again.
This reminds me
𝘁𝗀𝗆
of...
just doesn't take damage.
Yeah, 𝘁𝗀𝗆 is just there tanking everyone. Doesn't care. Even got ignited. It doesn't matter.
Oh, they might be able to kill him.
He's off HP now?
Oh, nope. He's out.
Oh, man. Oh, that's just sad. That's just sad. Now Pan might die in response.
No. The Heartbreaker.
Oh, Han. At least Pan stays alive as well. It took them about 10 or 15 seconds to get 𝘁𝗀𝗃 almost down, and then Pan dies in 2 seconds. So, almost providing the same value to his team. Not quite. He's working on it. At this point, do you actually just straight up build tank for a Nekton? I think you probably have to go all in. You probably have to go... Yeah, you have to go as much damage as possible.
You have to try and build so that you can eventually... Like, you can one-shot the 𝘁𝗺𝗔 for 45 minutes.
Yeah, I think building tank at this point doesn't really do anything for you. But it's just the lead building.
Had a bit of a catch. Ooh, Ariety nearly goes down. At least Cerberus is making something happen. 𝘁𝗀𝗆 very far forward. Has to go gold. The Ram comes charging on through. Teleport is arriving. This could be Cerberus's chance to try and get something back. But 𝘁𝗀𝗃 is just too sturdy a front line. He gets the double knockup. 𝘀𝗀𝗆 will pick up the kill. 𝘁𝗆 does finally go down. Artemis managing to chime in. That is a shutdown. But 𝘁𝗆 goes as well. And that's not an even trade. 𝘁𝗁𝗆 pretty low. He has teleport though. He could go back to teleport onto Baron to threaten that one. They are not too interested. Yeah, apparently. Move up to Soul Point.
I mean, to be honest, they don't have to rush anything. I know you want to go to that.
This is a silly teleport.
Yado. Come on, man.
Mental.
What was that? That was so bad. What did he even TP in for? Trying to steal the dragon? I guess 𝘁𝗆𝗆 is dead, so there's a potential for that. Could have TP'd a little bit further away from the exact spot there. Maybe on the ward there that's on screen right now, in the tri-brush. A lot of... I don't know, a lot of tilts, a little bit of misfortune maybe as well, with Ariety not going down here to all the bursts, 𝘁𝗆𝗆 staying alive as well. 𝘁𝗁𝗃 comes in, doesn't even hit anyone, but zones everyone away, and then 𝘁𝗆𝗆, it's so hard to kill this champion. It's not very hard to kill Pan though, as you can see.
No.
Oh, amazing turnaround from 𝘁𝗁𝗃, no one saw that one coming. Another Q building up. It's actually pretty hard to see with all the visual noise going on. Syndra and 𝘁𝗍 with a lot of projectiles there. So nicely done from 𝘁𝗁𝗃, concealing his Q. And then, wow, 𝘁𝗆𝗆 knew what was happening. 𝘁𝗆 just stood there waiting for the TP to come in. And Yado dies immediately. Perfect read. Nice.
So silly out of Yado. Right, well, there's not a huge amount of analysis to be done on this game, because it's all going one direction. So you got to name some Ornn upgrades your way.
What do we have here? So far, Kraken Slayer seems to be upgraded. It's 𝘁𝗀𝗏 something.
Close.
Well,
𝘁𝗏𝗏 is correct.
I don't know the follow-up.
𝘁𝗏𝗏 Sacrifice.
Sacrifice, okay, yeah.
And then we already said Luden's Eye of Luden.
Yeah, I knew that. Haha.
Yeah, you did know that, you did.
So Gore Drinker is...
I assume you know the Ornn one.
The on one?
Yeah, well, he's upgraded his own item.
See? I can't see it. Because of the number there.
Auto upgrades.
Yeah.
Auto upgrades.
Yeah, that's true. So that's Sunfire Aegis now
Yes.
and the upgrade. I don't actually know the upgrade.
Forge Fire Crest.
Ah, Forge Fire, of course, still Forge Fire.
Yeah.
Okay. And then we have the
Gore
the
Drinker and Aegis.
Gore Drinker. I knew it's Endless Hunger or something.
I'm going to give that to you
Unstillable
because
Hunger or
it's a synonym.
something?
It's ceaseless.
Ceaseless, right? Not endless. Ceaseless. Yeah, that's true.
Ceaseless.
That's a very cool name, by the way. Going from Gore Drinker to Ceaseless Hunger, I think they nailed that transition. That's amazing.
I agree.
I'm not sure what
And then-
Wormfallen Sacrifice is supposed to be, but I guess.
Well, yeah. I guess a Kraken is a sea worm or something.
Fair enough. That's actually the
But it's
closest I've
worm,
ever
it's
heard.
worm with a Y.
Yeah, I know. I know what a worm is. But
Yeah.
yeah, I still. Don't know. Not my favorite name.
I don't know. No, I agree. As VCS is just being annoying, gets Lantern on out, and you still got to get the.
Oh, 𝘀𝗶𝗹𝗀𝗀 with a
Aegis
flank.
Oh, 𝘀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀 is caught out. This is a good opportunity here. Very well done. 𝘀𝗀𝗀𝗀 is not saying die. VCS goes to the Lantern, but 𝘀𝗀𝗀𝗀 should be able to get another pair of knockups, and does. 𝘁𝗀𝗻𝗄 going forward. There's the Umbral Trespass. They actually pick up 2 kills.
Can they go for the Baron? 4 members alive. Right, he's still full
𝘁𝗀𝗻𝗄
HP.
is backing and is going to teleport.
It's risky for SGB to contest this one. VCS, of course, has flash available. Not able to heal up too much, though. Has 1 camp to get... Oh, he's actually getting close to full HP
Pretty
again.
healthy. Yeah, because he gets healed when he goes into the wall as well. There's a lot of damage onto 𝘀𝗀𝗀𝗀. He's so low.
This is so
𝘀𝗀𝗀𝗀, I think,
scary.
has to back off. Pun is just not able to do anything. He doesn't do any damage. Ariety lives. He gets knocked up, and the 𝘁𝗄𝗃 dies, and it's a disaster. Into the Guardian Angel goes 𝘀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀, but it just doesn't matter. VCS can run through this team with his good pal 𝘁𝗀𝗃 and 𝘀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀.
And I
And
feel
it
like that's
looks
the final
like
nail in the
𝘀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀 got
coffin.
into it for a moment.
Yeah, I think 𝘀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀 has an opportunity there to turn the game around. It was risky. It was high risk, high reward play to go for the Baron. But the risk didn't pay off. They stayed a little too long, and I feel like they should have hard committed for the Baron. Just try to get it. It's risky. It can be stolen, but honestly, that's not going to be worse than what had just happened here. So I feel like just try to tunnel vision on Baron. Maybe you can get the buff. Maybe you can get away with the buff, and then you're in a better position. Now they lost absolutely everything. Team fight, then Baron. I feel like the game is very close to over. And 𝘁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗀 is very close to securing first place after the first week of play.
Insane. Truly insane. Like, and this, let's have a look at this replay. It starts off so well.
Yeah, very cool combo.
At some point, you have to feel for the Cerberus players. This is a hard team to play against at the best of times because 𝘁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗀 is so volatile, it's mentally exhausting to play against them. And this series has been going for 4 hours.
And also in terms of expectations, but no time for expectations as Pun is already
Pun's
dead.
dead. Yeah, Pun has been made into another knockoff handbag. A good flash from 𝘁𝗻𝗄 to dodge that shockwave. Has the fancy feet around the Ornn ultimate, but I don't think it's going to matter. They try and blow up VCS, but he's just healing up. This man is immortal as he gets another pair of knockups. Rast is fast, going straight in. Oh god, it's an absolute massacre. I don't know if we can show this on Twitch, but I guess we'll just have to fight the mods. This is going to be 𝘁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗀 walking in the immortal 𝘁𝗁𝗁𝗁, taking the tower shots for now. And this is 𝘁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁, despite pretty much everyone in the community agreeing that they were going to be the 8th place team. They come out of week 1 2-0, and they were not easy teams. They beat 2 good teams.
Yeah, what is start?
𝘁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁 are here to prove the doubters wrong.
What is start for this team? Coming from the promotion tournament and the last possible series they re-qualified with very shaky performances, especially from the solo laners, but also from the rookie bot lane. VCS looked good in the promotion tournament already, but 𝘁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁 and 𝘁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁, we had very low expectations. We talked about rookies at the start of the day, and boy oh boy did they show up. Assisted by the very strong solo laners today, 𝘁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁 with another amazing performance. We talked about this on being a little bit of a cop-out, a little bit of, okay, I don't know what to play, I'll just lock in on. And most of the time, it didn't work in the past, but an amazing on performance from laning phase through team fighting to the finish line.
Yeah, and we will go very quickly to our analyst desk. We are going to wrap this one up a bit quickly. It's very late at night here for some of us, and we do need to head off. But Vinny, can you give us your short impressions of that game?
I think
Vinny,
you're
you there?
muted, Vinny.
Vinny?
Sorry, I'm still muted.
Yes.
Welcome back.
Yeah. Short version is Cerberus might have been better for Cerberus if Pun had just straight up not logged into the rift.
It's true. It's
Because-
actually true.
He just fed so much power over to being Jay and Hasmed, made them absolutely unkillable. That transferred to the rest of the team. Really good plays out of Taki and Froggy showed up across the map. Alrighty, 2 also showing up. And Cerberus just collapsed, but Pun especially. He wasn't even looking that hot in the first couple of games. Probably their weakest player. Just bad series out of him, and this game really was the icing on the cake of just a terrible cake. Just a horrible fondant on a terrible dry, awful cake.
And
Yeah,
before
it was pretty awful.
I think we should probably finish with the player of the series. But beforehand, I want to say how important these 2 wins are for 𝘀cie𝗰𝗶𝗹𝘀. If they, like we all expect, fall off later on and will be fighting for 6th place, these 2 series in week 1 can actually go such a long way. They are wins against Cerberus and Team Secret, wins the other bottom tier teams will never get, or it's very unlikely for them to get. So it's a head start towards maybe even greater things, maybe even playoff contention. If they continue this form, who knows?
Yeah, maybe. At this point, I'm giving up any predicting on the CS.
Live in the moment.
I don't know anything. I've decided VCS just says, hey, you're wrong. But yes, player of the series, Hasmed, 100%.
Gotta be Hasmed. Absolutely ridiculous performance out of him. Just showing
Smashed those last 2 games. Completely.
Yeah. Absolutely absurd performance out of it. I am going to wrap it up there. I'm sure you guys could keep talking for a little while, but I'm so tired.
Oh, just
I
one
need to
little
get off
shout out.
camera. Go ahead.
I believe we're doing the Player of the Week community vote in just a few in a day or so. I'm not quite sure about the time frame. We are going to prepare 4 picks for you, and you can pick 1 player who stood out. I think Hasmed is going to be on the list. So if you liked what you just saw in the last 2 games, you can vote for Hasmed. And yeah, that's something we want to do this split. So stay tuned. Check Twitter for those votes, and of course Discord as well.
Yeah, and with that, I will bid you all a good night. Do please follow us on Twitter and join our Discord community. It is super active. We are all active there. Plenty of content creators. If you need insight on the VCS, it's the place to be. And we think it's a friendly community and fun to be part of. Follow us on Twitter, as I said as well. All the information about the VCS is there. If you can support us on Patreon or through donations, we do really appreciate it. We do sort of need it at the moment. It's pretty crucial. But hey, we understand what being broke's like. We can't all afford things. No pressure. It is a labor of love. Regardless, with that, we will bid you good night, and we will see you next Friday. We hope you don't miss us too much. Good night.